How much?
Hi, buddy.
Oh, hello. We're messing with audio stuff because what else is new?
What else would we possibly be doing?
Yeah. So
there's new toys about
well, you have new toys for sure.
for sure.
I don't have new toys. I'm just adjusting the toys I already have.
True, man.
I like. I hate adjusting gate settings.
Hold on, let me see.
There we go. Okay, that's better. Because what's infuriating, like when I talk normal, it's just when I like, do that something clips.
Actually, I think I figured out what was happening. Maybe
I'm really confused as to why my audio level seems so low. Like on my end, it seems low.
But no, it's something you changed. It's something.
Okay.
I think I know how to fix it on my end.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because my stuff seems fine now.
Yeah, mine's good. We're good.
Okay.
We're all good.
Everything is great.
Everything's fantastic.
It's good enough. And I can do this. And it doesn't pick up.
Yeah. That's
so like if I do that, then maybe it'll get a little bit, but for the most part, no.
That's interesting.
That's the kind of premium content you get on this show is me rubbing my beard on my microphone.
I mean, you could probably start an OnlyFans with that. I'm just saying.
I'm sure that there exists people that would pay for that.
There is
sure.
An ASMR
beard rubbing, just go
bear club that you could get into. You would probably make a small fortune. The pastor of disaster.
That'll be $5.
You could
You're welcome.
When you trim your beard, you could sell it in little packets.
Right?
I like it.
Sell the water that was sprayed on my.
So I got a new toy.
Yeah, you did.
I got one of these.
What? You really have been doing did you call your therapist? Because obviously you didn't.
I'm in love. I'm in love with this thing.
By the way, you still do need to call your therapist.
I know.
Buying stuff does not fix it. It just makes it go away. It just makes you not think about it for a while.
I will tell you some stories here in a minute, and you will understand
why you haven't called your therapist.
Yes.
I don't think that's how this works.
It is. I promise.
No, I'm pretty sure it isn't. But I'll let you carry on thinking that.
Okay. So first, let me tell you my Wednesday story. Oh yes, for those who are just watching this and who are not a part of the Discord, I have a new monitor. I bought the Bugatti.
You bought a
monitors.
massive monitor.
I got a Samsung Odyssey Neo G9, which is their new ultra wide series, and it is
just to make clear. Did you which one did you get?
I got the Neo. Let me double check.
The 57 or the 49?
49. The 57 I don't believe is technically out yet.
Oh, okay. So did you get? So this is. I'm just running the math here. So this is. Did you get the QHD?
I think mine's mini LED.
Okay, so 49 inches. What's the model number?
The model number is the G95NA.
Okay, so this monitor is
mini LEDs. 240 hertz refresh rate, which I'm not at, but it's possible. G-Sync and FreeSync. You have two of my monitor. Yeah. It's basically
5120 by 1440.
Yeah. It's two monitors without the line in the middle.
Good night, sir. That is
because here's the problem.
That is insane.
I'm a programmer, right? And when I'm programming, I have to have two monitors. Period.
Right.
Because I have to have one for my IDE and one for whatever it is that I'm making.
Right.
when I'm gaming, I have to have one monitor, or else I'm constantly looking to one side, right? Because if you're gaming and one monitor gets off to the side.
Well, and see what I do. So like my second monitor, when I'm looking at the camera, is over here. So like if I'm looking over here at my second monitor, then like it's over there. My main like monitor is in front of me here.
And that's what I tried to do, was to find a happy medium between having a monitor directly in front of me and having two monitors directly in front of me. And there's no way to do it. There's no way to do it cleanly.
I mean, I could do it cleanly if I had a third monitor, but that's a whole different issue.
I will say that in the 45 years I've been on this earth, this is the most happiest I've ever been with a monitor.
Nice. I mean, for the money, I would hope so.
It is. And here's the reason I finally pulled the trigger on it was everyone that I have read that was a verified purchase that left a review about this has said, disregard everything you will read about this. You will never go back from this monitor. Like once you see this, you will never go backwards. And I can understand it now.
Okay.
It takes some getting used to. I'm still getting used to the curve on it.
Right.
I like the curve on it. It's nice, but it takes some getting used to that.
Yeah. So I've got a 32-inch monitor for my gaming monitor, like my main monitor. And I don't.
Let's go.
I feel like it wouldn't work if it didn't have a curve.
Yeah.
Like the only way it works is that it's curved.
Like the monitor that I had was a widescreen, but it was flat. And I got used to it, but I can see like why why they're curved.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot of this, like trying to see correctly. It's weird.
Right.
And what's up, Andy? How's it going?
We made a significant purchase this week.
Oh, what'd you get?
Well, it's not so much what we got.
What did you get rid of?
Well, so Mrs. Pastor got rid of her gallbladder on Monday.
Yeah.
So she's here.
Did they at least give her good meds?
They didn't actually give her a lot of meds, but she didn't really need them. The pain meds basically made her sleepy, which was what they needed. Like that was what they needed to do.
Right.
She says the pain hasn't been terrible, but it's the like she's tired of eating low fat foods because she doesn't have a gallbladder. Like that's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, the incisions are sore. Like she's not having a great time.
I can imagine. Yeah.
But we're hoping that like, I mean, you know that you needed to have it done when the doctor comes in after the thing and is like, her gallbladder was super extra gross. And so it took a little bit longer to get it out of there.
Super extra gross.
I mean, he used more, he used like more words for that, but like I translated it to, it was super extra gross.
That's fair. Straight up not having a good time with this gallbladder surgery. Yeah.
But like, it's over. Like we're hoping it takes care of all the stuff that she's been going through.
Nice. Yeah.
But it's always just like surgery's dumb. Like
surgery's just,
it takes a lot out of you.
And even not just the surgery part of it, like the whole, everything else is equally as stressful as the surgery itself.
Well, and she tolerates like anesthesia pretty well. But like, there's so many things that you have to do. Like one of the things that they make you do, like you have to pee before you leave the hospital because they want to make sure like everything's working.
Yeah.
But then they also tell you to not like drink anything for however long before. So it's like you have nothing to pee.
Yeah.
Like they literally, they just turned up her IV, like and just let it put saline into her.
Nice.
Try to make her pee.
Wow. That's awful.
Yeah.
Reaper, what a shaking, man. Yeah, it's been a month. This whole month has been a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wednesday, I'm leaving for work, and I hit the garage door.
Uh-oh.
Garage door goes up. I get into the car, start the car, and you know that old man shuffle that you do
Oh no.
to like shift yourself in the car, because when you sit down, your ass is never right where it's supposed to be. You gotta like shift it back where it goes.
Uh-huh.
I was doing that, and I felt my head hit the garage door opener.
And you broke it?
No, and I was like, well, shit. So the garage door is closing now. So I sat and I looked in the rearview mirror forever, waiting for the garage door to come down, and it never did. And I was like, okay, maybe I didn't hit it hard enough, right?
Uh-oh.
So I put it in reverse, and I'm watching the rearview mirror as I'm letting off of the brake. And the minute I let off the brake, the garage door peaks down, and bam.
Oh no.
And I took the whole side of the garage door off of its track.
Oh, dude.
Like, knocked the wood off the, like, it was a whole, I literally just drove my car back into the garage, managed to get the garage door back down, and then just went back to bed. I was like, fuck this. I can't deal with this day.
Ugh.
Too much. And yes, there was something purring. That was purring at everybody.
Oh.
It's this little turd. This one.
Hello, little
Yes.
turd. Oh, there's a turdy meow.
There it is. These nubs. Everybody likes nubs. They want to see nubs. So that. I've had that. I've had 2 family members in and out of hospice. It's just... It's been a rough month, man. I'm ready for the holidays. I'm ready for the short weeks and the everybody being in a good mood.
Yeah.
Holidays, I guess.
That's rough, man.
It's just been a lot. But I'm good. I've got a gigantic fucking monitor.
You do. You absolutely have a giant monitor.
I have a toy that makes lights and
Nice.
and sounds, which this may actually lead to some changes on the stream. Because
because you can.
science. I can do live streams of music now.
Because science.
Because of all the science. What are we doing tonight, man? What is...
Dude, I don't even know. Like,
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. I have not even thought about
I didn't think that far ahead.
Yeah.
I was like, well, we'll do the thing, but I don't know what to do. Because I still just like, I just didn't care about Valheim. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we could try it again, but I'm kind of with you. It just didn't. It didn't give me the, oh my god, I need everyone to play this with me.
yeah. And so many of these like multiplayer games are like Diablo-like, and neither of us really enjoy that.
Not particularly. Yeah, I could use it as a soundboard. It's kind of a more advanced soundboard.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
There was lots of love from this house to yours for your birthday, sir.
Yes, I turned slightly older yesterday.
You are now 420.
I am 427. Thank you very much.
I forgot.
Come on now.
You're born in the winter. I'm a summer kid. We get all fucking.
But yeah, it was good. Like, yeah. One of the things that's been rough about the birthdays, because Mrs. Pastor's like,
yes.
I had a surprise. Basically, I had a surprise vacation this week, but it was the worst kind of vacation because you can't do anything.
Yeah, you're like, happy birthday.
Like Monday was I was in like, now luckily like the timing actually was pretty good for this surgery because like we were supposed to go to Colorado for Thanksgiving this year, but that ended up falling through. But like the plans that I had made to not be here were still in place. So like I don't have to. I'm not preaching Sunday. Like I'm still doing church, but I'm not preaching.
Right.
We've got a deacon that I try to have preach once a month. So like that part's nice. Like I didn't have to write a sermon this week. I basically got like 2 weeks worth of Pastor Recoil's Parish episodes recorded. So like
Nice.
I don't have to worry about that. And I was able to get a little bit of reading done for class, which was nice. Cause of course that's coming up. But like, so that was good. Also like changes are going to be coming to Pastor Recoil's Parish. There'll be an announcement video out sometime next week. But basically like I can't do the weekly grind. Like it's bad enough doing the weekly grind like at work.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do the weekly grind that fun. And it's just like the way I was doing Pastor Recoil's Parish stopped being fun.
Yeah. I was wondering because you started and then you kicked the pace up a lot because it was slow and then it was like bam, 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 bam. And I was like, ooh, I wonder how long this is gonna last.
Yeah, well, and that was just how the church year works.
Right.
But like I knew that was coming. But yeah, like so we're gonna basically be doing like monthly videos with that.
I like it.
Do a little bit, put a little bit more into them than just like regurgitating a sermon idea that wouldn't necessarily work. And it still might be that, like, if there's something that I'm talking about, like in church, and then it's like, oh, and I want to say more about this somewhere else. But yeah,
I like it.
We'll see how that goes. So if you have anything that you want, if there's anything that you want me to do a video on, here's your opportunity to go to the Discord, go to the Ask a Pastor channel, and be like, hey, I want to know about this. I want you to do a video on this.
I just thought of one that I'm going to put in here and see if you will actually do a video on.
Okay.
This is the first official request for a video.
First official request.
Should it go and Ask a Pastor? Should I put a little like thing next to it so that you know that
maybe we do a
video ideas?
Actually, I might do. Hold on. Let's switch some things up here. Let's change Ask a Pastor. We're doing it live because why not?
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Let's call this.
I also think Reaper just dropped one of the hottest lines in hip hop for this year. Pastors in the back of the church sipping on the sacrament. Like that is attached to a follow-up, a callback line that's gonna just the whole place is gonna go nuts. Oh God.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that one
Heroin
for that
Bob was in
channel.
Newsies?
Yes, dude. The amount that threw me off. Okay, so now I'm gonna create a new text channel, and it's gonna be called like, Parish Council. So Parish Council is going to be things you might want Pastor Recoil to do videos about. There. Type. I would like Pastor to do a tutorial video on expressing the anal glands of an indoor feline.
Yes.
I don't.
I mean, you said we could ask for videos we wanted you to do.
I did say that.
In fact, you could just do a YouTube short where it's just.
Do you have an indoor feline that needs their anal glands expressed? Is that the problem here?
Yes, sure. Yeah, we'll go with it.
Satyr, are you the indoor feline?
Yes, I need my anal glands expressed.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, sorry, but I do have some ideas for things more related to your current content. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
But I need to think about those a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm looking for ideas, like, because I could do videos, but like I may as well do videos that like people are actually going to want to see.
I mean, I would like, because I've seen this from people like me so much, it would be interesting to have a video dedicated specifically to this. There may be other videos out there like this. I've not looked for it. But the pet soul thing.
Oh gosh.
I know. But how many people have had that be the thing that made them start questioning their religion?
Well, and it's such a
and it's such a simple question.
It's such for pastors. It is such an irrelevant question.
Right.
That like when somebody asks it, especially if they're a little kid, like what kind of soulless monster do you have to be like, you're never gonna see Fluffy again ever. Fluffy's not gonna exist when you get to hang out with Jesus in heaven.
But see, therein lies the conundrum.
Like, why?
Which I think the point of the question isn't about pet souls, right? I think that's where people get hung up, because the point of the question is really about, what if my idea of heaven doesn't align with the heaven that is going to be there, right?
Right. But like, especially in that case, like it is so easy because like it literally doesn't say anything about it. Like there's nothing there's nothing in the Bible that talks about like what animals, like there's no specific answer to that question. So it's like, because there's no specific answer, why not choose to go with the one that's going to like make someone who is mourning their beloved furry member of the family like why, like, I just don't understand.
Rad test.
Yeah, like that's just one. It ticks me off really more than anything else, because it's just like, what kind of monster are you?
Well, and that's the thing is, I think the biggest problem is that pastors don't have an answer for it.
There's also a very good argument that there's two ways of thinking about souls. There's either like there is body, soul, and spirit, and there's like three things that make up an entity.
Right.
I don't like that one, because then it's like, well, what's the difference between a soul and a spirit? Like what's I tend to view life as like there is a body and there is a spirit, and together they are a soul. And using that way of thinking, animals are souls in the same ways that humans are souls. The difference is that like humans have a special role over like the world that animals don't have, but they're all like, because the same word is used to refer to animals and humans as souls.
Interesting. There's gonna be a lot of cows in heaven. Holy shit.
Yes.
Huh. That's gonna be kind of horrifying, actually.
And there is a fairly convincing argument from scripture again that like we're not supposed to eat meat.
Right.
Like that originally we were all vegetarian, and then it was only after after we got a little bit too murdery of each other that they decided it was okay to like
Eat meat.
eat meat.
So, but Brad says, does heaven have to actually have properties, or wouldn't it be a feeling of eternal bliss? But isn't heaven like it's a cube city with open doors, right?
Yeah, it is a gigantic cube city with open doors. Like the distance from, I think I mathed it out once, and it was like the distance from New York to Miami cube. So like just a completely impossibly large city, which is why it's described the way it is. Like it is an impossibly large city whose gates never close. But even then, like all of these descriptions are poetic, and the stuff that we get at it, like the things that it is described as is like a wedding reception that never ends, which sounds terrible. So that's probably not.
That does sound awful.
Like that's probably not the whole that it is. There is a sense that it's going to be similar to our Earth because, like, Earth doesn't become heaven; heaven comes down to Earth.
Right.
So, like, there's definitely going to be similarities between what currently exists and what will be. We know that there's a lot of things that heaven will not have. There won't be death, and heaven, by which I mean like the new creation of heaven on earth. There won't be death. There won't be sickness. There won't be suffering. There won't be violence. There, like, all of the things that kind of cause us problems aren't going to be there. But that's kind of where it ends. Like we don't know much more than that, except that like we do see this progression from like the beginning of the Bible that starts in a garden to the end of the Christian Bible that ends not in a garden but in a city. So there is like an idea that like technology advances in heaven, kind of.
Interesting.
Because like the ideal originally was a garden, and now the ideal is a city.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, my camera's falling over.
Yeah, I could see your nose hairs.
It was like
nose hairs.
We'll go with that for a while.
Hey, Bar Lazy.
Or lazy. I want to imagine it like creepypasta. It's a giant Holiday Inn of endless hallways and rooms with no outside. And how good you are determines how good of a room you are and how far you are from the ice maker.
And see, like, this is one of the things that actually frustrates me about heaven. Like this mindset that we have, like, it's not
Cloud City.
It's not really about like how good you are. That's why like there's something very tempting about the idea of purgatory, not as a place where like good people like because there's this image that's there of like purification, because like if God is perfectly just, then those who have suffered will be released from their suffering, and those that have caused their suffering will receive punishment for that causing suffering. And so there's something to this like purification idea, because you don't want to just let everybody in, because then there is no justice, right? Like if someone caused you deep harm,
define justice.
Well, think of it as a harmed person. If you are like, you are a peasant who is being brutally mistreated by their feudal lord, you want to there's kind of a sense in scripture that the mistreating feudal lord will get theirs. Like they will receive punishment. But at the same time, like no one is entirely good and no one is entirely bad. Like there's not this like humans are not cartoon characters. Like,
twiddling there.
like, well, it's so okay. So have you seen like the I haven't seen the actual like original ones, but I've seen people reacting to it. Like apparently the children are discovering some like letter that Osama bin Laden wrote criticizing America.
Yeah.
And I've seen only people reacting to it, but it's like there is a certain tension to be held in. Yes, the guy has legitimate critiques about American empire, but also, like, by the same token, the dude is a mass murderer.
Right.
So
his solution to that problem was to wipe us off the face of the planet.
Like, so there is, and with everyone, like, there is a tension there. Somebody else was talking about, like, Lyndon B. Johnson, who was both a racist and yet genuinely committed to the cause of civil rights. Like those two things went together. Yeah, Great Divorce, I think. Was that the one with like the subway station? There's something that C.S. Lewis had with the subway station. I don't remember exactly what it like not like a train station. That was the purgatory idea.
There's a really interesting film called Terminal with Margot Robbie and Mike Myers of all people. And it's it is not about that, but it is. I'll put it that way.
and there's I do think there's certainly like times when Jesus says things like people are going to get cast out into the fire. Now, usually those are folk who are identifying themselves as part of the in-group, but not living by the in-group's standards. Like the parable of the sheep and the goats, it's like the ones that did not take care of the people in need, they get cast out to eternal punishment. So it's like, it's not like someone from outside the group who's getting that. It's someone who's inside the group and not doing what they're supposed to do. Hello, autofocus.
Yeah, what the hell? Damn, that was weird.
But there's something to be said. There's also like there's the lake of fire that certain folk get thrown into in Revelation. Like, so there's no simple answer, it seems like. But we're humans. We love simple answers. We love to just make everything be like, yes, this, no, that.
What's always bothered me about the idea of hell and the idea of kind of eternal punishment is I've never met an evil person. Like, I don't think anyone does something to be evil, right? There's not.
Right. Nobody. And that's what makes Magneto such a good villain.
I know.
But like, yeah, there are very.
Because technically, if it's all about standards, right?
Right.
Because it becomes about the standard of, God, it makes me crazy.
Well, and that's where I think sometimes it gets really hard for like, evaluating authoritarians, because on looking at it from the outside, it's like, well, obviously you are just doing this to secure power for yourself.
Right.
But like, there's always an aspect of that like the people who are securing power for themselves think that that's the most right thing to happen.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're not going into it going, twirl my mustache.
Right. It's that thing, right? Every war is won by the good guy. Every time. Isn't that fucking weird how that happens? Right. The good guys always win. And it's that idea of like, two guys are fighting, a Russian and a Ukrainian. Who's the bad guy? They're both doing it for the exact same reason. Right?
It gets really, and that's where like, I'm seeing a lot of content with, like, well, Israel and Palestine, like there are, and it's kind of like you can have intention. The Hamas is a terrorist organization, and maybe you shouldn't cut off all of the things that 2 million people need to live because of that. Like there's a tension there that our news cycle doesn't allow for.
Right.
But I think also like the ideological purity that's required among either like, and this is definitely one of those issues that's like you see it on the far left, the far middle and the far right.
The far middle.
Like there's this ideological purity that like you have, like one side is saying you have to always be pro-Israel and the other side is saying you have to always be pro-Palestine. And it's like,
can we just be pro not killing people? Can that be the thing?
Complicated.
Yeah. It's like, I understand that Hamas killing that many people was a horrible thing. Right?
Yeah.
And fuck Hamas for doing that. At the same time, in the span of 3 days, slaughtering 4,000 kids as part of the retribution feels a little... To put, 22 years of distance on something, the destruction of the World Trade Center was a terrible, horrible thing and was an awful loss of life and was just evil. Right.
But destabilizing an entire region and starting 2 wars over it,
right,
probably wasn't good.
Well, and like, it's really bad too. Our news is really bad for starting in the middle of something, right? Like Hamas attacking Israel, our news is treating it like that just came out of the fucking blue, man.
Right.
We don't know what happened. They just woke up one morning and decided to kill us all.
I can't believe it. They just decided.
Just like here, when those planes hit the towers and people were like, what the fuck? That came out of nowhere, because once again, we're not being told how we got to that point. Like, I don't know. It's
everything is nuanced. There's so much context, and like
100% of the time, you can always go with the one, whatever the answer is, where less people die is probably the right answer.
That is almost certainly the right answer. Like, you definitely, like, I'm a big fan of harm reduction. Like,
right.
We ought to reduce the overall level of violence that exists in the world. Like, that is a good goal to have. This is also why I say that, like, a Christian nation can't exist, because it will inevitably become either not Christian or not a nation.
Can you imagine? Like, I mean, that's one of my, like, deep, dark fears is that at some point before I die, our government will like actually switch and become a Christian country. And I mean, I would have to leave. I would have to leave.
The thing is, like, it is, but in that, like, Christian supremacist Euro model.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
not in the totalitarian, hands down oligarchy. Well, fuck. We're damn near there now.
Yeah. But again, like, all of that is Canada. As soon as you do that, like, as soon as something goes that way, it is no longer Christian.
I mean,
because I mean, yes, it is. Like,
in the same way that there can never be a communist country, right?
Right. Because, like, you look at the ideals of Christian morality that like a lot of Christian nationalists are throwing out the window, admittedly. Like, the response to conflict is nonviolence. So a country that consistently reacts non-violently
It's not going to be a country.
is not going to be a country.
I mean, shit, even the Vatican has like an armed
Right.
army.
And I
Too.
so it gets really messy because I in large part it's because Christianity as a movement never imagined itself being in power.
That's fair.
You can actually read the entirety of Revelation as a warning to not be in power.
Uh-huh.
Like, you should not be seeking political power. It's not a thing that you should, because it will go badly. That's kind of one of the strands that's in that book.
Interesting.
Like there's another argument that it's like the John who's writing it from exile on this little island is basically writing the whole book to be like, hey, y'all need to join me in exile. Like, that's the only way that you can survive this. And keep your faith intact. Like, you just need to completely pull out of the Roman Empire because the Roman Empire is going to corrupt you.
Interesting.
No, I mean, there's a reason.
Stop justifying Jehovah's Witnesses.
There is a reason why JWs have that. Like, and it's the same rationale that led to early monasticism. It was people who were like, we cannot live in this world and be the kind of Christian that we want to be, so we're going to leave. And they set up in these old forts in the desert and just hung out there.
I mean, that's technically, we have Quakers and shit, right? That's the same thing.
It's a similar idea, yeah. Quakers, the Amish, Old Order Mennonites, just it's this separation. And now I don't think that's the right direction to go, but there is definitely a strand there that's like, I see their point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna say that I would see it the other way. That a true Christian would need to be wherever the most inequality and violence was happening.
Well, right. That's where I would go as well. But again, remember, like, the Christian movement does not understand how to be in power. And you'd think it would have figured it out after
being in power
years. But it doesn't. And it's because the New Testament does not give any guidance on how to be in power. And the Old Testament's not all that much helpful either, because it just tells you when people are doing it wrong. It doesn't give you any information on how to do it right. But it tells you a whole lot of different ways to do it wrong.
Well, that's what you really need to know, though, right?
Well, I mean, you'd think.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think the first Christian that I met that made me start to rethink my concept of Christianity, and this was post losing my religion, whatever religion I had. She was the one that went to London and spent time in London in there was fights going on between the punks and the local police, and the police would just beat the shit out of these kids and leave them in the street.
Oh,
so her missionary work was literally to drive around at night and pick these kids up and take them back to her place and patch them up.
Okay.
And like get them put back together. And like that was what she did.
Right.
And she like went to punk shows, and like she was one of the first hard punk rock kids that I knew. And I was like, wait a minute. Interesting. Like, I'm used to the Christians that like drop off blankets at the, the homeless shelter and are like, "Oh, we did a good thing."
Yeah, there's certainly something like there is certainly some overlap between like punk and,
which is really weird to me.
Yeah, I get it.
But like, I thought the fact that there was such a huge Christian punk movement in the 90s. What was that? What the hell was that?
I think some of it was record companies having more money than they knew what to do with.
Well, yeah, that's true. Especially Christian record labels.
Right, because they were just making so much money. But like there is this thing that by being in power, Christianity has lost, that is called the prophetic critique. And it's the idea of speaking to injustice.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Barlazy's mom. And by being in power, the Christians in power have suppressed anyone who would speak against injustice, because you can't have that, can you?
Right.
Like, and part of punk is also speaking to injustice. I actually have I need to read y'all this because you'll enjoy it. So I have to write these summaries for some of my classes. And as part of the assignment, I have to pose a critical question about the thing that I've read. And so it's a thing about the role of prophets by a guy named Walter Brueggemann. The book's called The Prophetic Imagination. But my question is, do those people, the folk who, and to use Brueggemann's language, they make visible what the king chooses not to see, and that's because it's the prophets are speaking to a very particular political situation. So do these prophets have to be explicitly followers of God? Because I'm like, I think of punk artists who call to mind many of the same themes and yet are outside of the community of God's people. Can those folk be used as a prophetic voice, grieving over what our culture's king would also choose not to know? So I'm curious to see how my professor addresses that.
Yeah.
Because like I remember, you listen to Propaganda and it's like they've got some really good critique. Like,
yeah.
they get to be a lot after a while, but like you can only take so much Propaganda.
And didn't one of those guys turn out to not be a very good person?
I'm almost certain.
There was a string of them here a couple months ago, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like,
I'm still mad that that's the new like Scottish band is a problem.
yeah.
Crap. What's their name?
The shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Interrupters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so mad they're a problem.
I'm mad that she's a problem. Like, damn it. I don't know. Ugh.
So
They're so good.
and then
Yes,
none of the three that have
come on. Ugh, yes, I know.
none of the three that have Wikipedia pages seem to be problems.
Okay. Good.
Like, I mean, that just means that none of the three with yeah, the one dude like just left and decided to become a public school teacher.
I can't remember someone. Oh God. Someone here. Who was it recently? that there was a punk band. They literally like they've been around for decades, and literally overnight they stripped their entire presence off the internet.
Oh, weird.
And it came out that their lead singer had done bad things like his whole career, and like one of the things that the band stood for was women's rights. Like they sang about it, and like that's what they were all about. And then it turns out that like the whole time this dude was doing not good shit.
Yikes.
And I can't remember who it was now.
That's less than bueno.
Yeah. And it's so hard because you can't do. What do you type? What do you type?
Yeah. Well, because there's so many, right?
Right. Punk
like,
band gets
like,
fucking canceled for sexual assault. Like hundreds of them.
Yeah. Like I'm still. There's a couple like pop punk bands, especially that like I really enjoy, and I keep an eye out. Like I'm just waiting for something to drop about them being terrible.
I know. I keep waiting to find out that like Travis Barker's a terrible person. You know,
like if any of the dudes from Blink were awful, I would just be crushed.
I mean,
like,
supposedly it was, but lead singer's not a nice dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's supposedly a dickhead.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's not hurting people. He's just a dickhead.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Like sometimes people are just abrasive. Like
yeah, it's fine.
But it's when they actually start hurting people that it's a problem.
The lead singer from Smashing Pumpkins. That dude, crazy now. Whew, buddy.
He was always off.
But it was like the 90s, we all thought it was art. We didn't know it was mental illness. Yes.
Well, that's true.
We just thought everyone was artistic. Now everyone's autistic.
We just softened the R.
Right. Our language has just turned the R.
Yeah. There's a Christian band called Newsboys that was like they were real big in the 90s, and their lead singer had like Billy Corgan-y vibes to him. Yeah. Like just like the shaved head and just like artistic.
Yeah.
And they went weird.
He makes I just pegged it.
Maybe you shouldn't say that on the
internet. It's the 60s white guru.
Yes, it is.
That's the vibe.
Yes, that's absolutely what the vibe is.
It's like you look at them and you know it's sexual assault and they're trying to get your money, right?
Yeah.
Like someone's gonna get touched in a bad way, and you shouldn't leave anyone alone in a room with them. Like you just know that vibe instantly. It's the same one. That's Billy Corgan. He's.
So I gotta read you some of the lyrics from this band, the Newsboys band, because they're a lot. And this was stuff that like. When I was listening to it in the 90s, I was like, oh, it's the lyrics. And then I got to like listening to them again years later, and I'm like, so it's the song is talking about the kind of changes that one experiences when one becomes a Christian. And it starts out okay, like you can't assert the kind of light that might persuade a strict dictator to retire, fire the army, teach the poor origami. It's starting to get a little weird, but it's just, you know. And then it goes to try as you may, there isn't a way to explain the kind of change that would make a racial slur for Inuit people renounce fur that would make a vegetarian barbecue hamster. And it's like, okay. And then you will inspire the kind of entire turnaround that would make a bouncer take ballet, even bouncers who aren't, awkward pause, happy. And it's just, yep. There's another one.
What year did this song come out though?
That one was 95, I think.
Yeah, I mean that fits in it. That's
fits
actually
the era.
pretty progressive for 95.
94
Yeah.
is when that one came out.
Oh,
Then here's this one from 96. When the toast is burned and all the milk has turned and Captain Crunch is waving farewell, when the big one finds you, may this song remind you that they don't serve breakfast in hell. Yep.
That's fantastic.
And it's just like, oh, those didn't age well. But then, like,
Barbecued hamster.
yeah, it was.
Who was
a
the
weird
singer
era.
you sent me that I didn't recognize recently? Oh, I mean Johnny Rotten.
Like,
It was Anti-Flag, by the way.
oh, okay,
Lead singer turned out to not be a good person. Yeah, Johnny Rotten's like hardcore right-wing lunatic now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember finding out about that after the the Hulu special about them.
Yeah.
Which was wicked good, by the way.
Yes.
Like,
that was amazing.
If you have not watched the Hulu special about Sex Pistols, it is really good.
Yes. It handles the disaster that they were really well.
Yeah. And it's a great cast. Like,
Yes.
just absolutely amazing cast. What is that called?
The Pistols.
It's just the Pistols?
Yeah. I think I figured out why everything is redlining.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you have something turned up way too loud?
I upgraded OBS or updated it,
Right.
and I may be sending the wrong Wallace and Gromit in the wrong trousers. Stream Mix A. Okay.
Are you putting... And see, I upgraded OBS as well. And like...
Every time you talk, it's really loud. I don't know. Maybe it's my... Does
what's
it sound
so weird?
okay to everyone?
What is so weird on my end, like, I'm looking at, what's it called? Revelator.
Mhm.
And Revelator is saying I'm outputting it like -10, but OBS is saying I'm outputting it like -20. And I don't understand why they don't agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Well,
could
and
just
I
be
will
bad metering.
say that my Revelator, like it says I'm right now talking at about a negative 10 dBs.
You can get the base.
But yeah, over in OBS, I am at -5.
So yours is just reading super high for some reason.
Yeah. And like when you talk, it's I'm peaking.
That's weird.
Yeah. But your video,
My feed over on the other place.
your video still looks fine. Like the audio that's connected to your video that I have muted
Oh, right.
looks fantastic.
Huh. Well, that's weird.
But I think I'm listening to what they're listening to.
Well, okay, my compressor's not.
I don't know.
Well,
If Brad says it sounds good, I'm just gonna say. I mean, he is a punk rock drummer, so he might be.
He doesn't
I don't
know.
He's like, yeah, it sounds great. So.
My compressor's not compressing much, which doesn't mean anything, but it's just like it's not doing much.
I probably need to fix, like, check
So I need
all
to-
this stuff at some point.
Okay, so so I turned my compressor off, and now it's definitely quiet. And if I turn it back on,
Yeah.
that's okay. Now, yeah,
Very loud. Holy shit.
but like it's doing again. It says I'm feeding you
Okay.
like almost nothing.
Now, when you're loud, you're peaking about where I'm peaking.
I'm so confused.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Hold on.
Um. So yeah, I guess we just talk. I just
Oh,
need to watch a line while you talk.
okay. Hold on. Let me I guess because this is what's on my screen. The Sex Pistols were an English punk rock band formed in London in 1975. Although their initial career lasted just 2.5
It's
years.
fine now.
Oh,
I don't know what the hell's going
okay.
on.
Sure.
I'm hallucinating. It's been that kind of a week. I'm just hallucinating
That,
things.
that's fine. You
Fantastic.
that is just fine. We will just carry on hallucinating
We're gonna what?
or
On who?
hallucinate.
Who is Nate? And what are we doing on him? Hulu on some dude named
Hallucinate.
Nate?
That's the one.
Let's take a break. I need to
Okay.
go to the little boy's room and get some water.
Okay.
While we're gone,
Okay.
what's a good one? How amazing is my monitor? Yes, the answer is yes. Amazing.
Podcast should be called Two Audio Engineers Screw the Headphones every week.
It really is. I'll just talk louder. Okay, I'm gonna say if you I have no questions. What's a good question?
What is a good question?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Are you going or are you staying?
I was going to also do water math and subtract some water and add some water.
Okay. Uh, well, I have something that we can do when we get back then.
Oh, well, but that doesn't solve the problem we have now
I
of
know.
us leaving. Okay. If,
I'm solving the
if
wrong
oh,
problems.
okay. Okay, here we go. If you could
I would.
remake a video game from your childhood,
Ooh.
tell me why it would actually be a bad idea.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I like that question.
Okay.
We're going to go with that. And we'll
Okay.
be back in a second.
With
Maybe.
your pills.
All my buttons moved. Oh, crap.
Oh, geez.
And I could never find them before it. Okay. Here it is. All right. We'll be right
Golly,
back.
Willikers.
There's my button.
There's a button.
Buttons. So we've got, I think Reaper just was like any game from my childhood. Because
Almost anything that we made would probably be made by a AAA studio. They would give up halfway through, just up it at half finished as shovelware. Okay, like I get it.
that's fair. And they would probably make a money hand over fist in the process. And
oh yeah.
it would,
Brad says Ghosts and Goblins. If it would be too easy, because if it was hard as the original, no one would play it.
I don't know though, because Cuphead was hard as hell.
Yeah. Well, look at Dark Souls.
Yeah.
People love Dark Souls, and it's intentionally really hard.
Right? I don't know, man.
So I loved old adventure games like the Space Quest series from Sierra.
Andy. Thanks for hanging out,
Andy.
man.
I really enjoyed what's the other one? Maniac Mansion, Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders from LucasArts. But like in particular, there's an era of those adventure games where they were able to do so much with the technology that they had available.
Yeah.
Like the art style was amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's like they had only so many colors, but they made them work.
Yeah.
And like I've seen some folk like try to redo that.
Yeah.
Like whether it's like they're trying to do stuff like in that style, or they're trying to do it like in a more modern style, and it just doesn't work because the limitation isn't there.
Yeah, it's the same difference to me as pixel art versus old school video games, or like playing a pixel video game versus playing like Mario back in the day. And I found a column on it, and it's they're like, people think of pixels as square, but monitors weren't, like old tube TVs weren't like that. Like, and it showed the difference between how the colors were laid out. And I was like, oh yeah, it is totally different.
Yeah. I remember the first time I found out that like CGA, remember like CGA color, if you ever picked it on a game, it would be like cyan and magenta, just awful looking.
Yeah.
That was meant to be shot out to a very particular kind of television. And if it goes to that particular kind of television, it looks amazing.
Really?
Because it used the ways that they would like smear the colors together to make them make more colors than they had access to.
Oh, weird.
It was like this weird composite video signal that like smeared the colors in a particular and repeatable way. That made them look good. Same with like dithering. Dithering used to not be able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I saw on TikTok this like it was this old McDonald's commercial with Michael Jordan, and like it's a cut to his mom's stunt double that's just like obviously a stunt double, right?
Right.
But it's like, but then it's like trying to explain to the children that are looking at it, like, oh, look at how dumb they thought you were. It's like you couldn't tell. TVs were so fuzzy.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell.
We were noticing it's funny because we've been getting all these movies in 4K.
Oh,
we have a 4K TV, right? And some of them are movies that I have seen hundreds of times. Hundreds of times. I know them inside and out. And I am seeing stuff for the first time that was never supposed to be there.
When you and I watched Ghostbusters together on Blu-ray, and we both were doing that, we're like, wait a minute.
Oh my God.
I never saw that before.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. It is crazy.
But
and Final Fantasy 1, okay. I see a trend here, and I'm gonna go with this. Okay, So Barlazy said Final Fantasy 1, and he's cheating because he's really talking about the feeling of playing Final Fantasy 1, not the game itself. And that was when I left and was fluid switching.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, it's Zork.
Oh yeah,
Zork is the game that you can't. I mean, you could remake it now, but it would be the exact same thing. Or like you couldn't. You know, some AAA studio would try to turn it into an actual game.
Oh yeah,
and
not just
it would lose
Xbox.
all of it. Yeah, And if they
Now
would,
I will
or they would
say,
try to change it in some way to make it like, no, it's cool. And you're like, no.
so Reaper bringing up Crimson Skies,
Oh, God, I would
I
love
think that one's different
that. Yeah.
because they didn't have the technology to be able to do that right.
True.
Because it wasn't it that was in that like the FMV era, and it was just bad. But now that is in like there will never be a Crimson Skies game because that is in like rights hell at the moment. It's in the same problem as Mech Warrior.
Yep.
The rights are all owned by Microsoft. And the chances are they're not going to go anywhere. Because when Jordan Weisman sold Fawza Interactive, that originally pushed all of those to Microsoft, that's just where the rights have languished ever since.
It's so ridiculous.
So like I think Shadowrun, BattleTech, and Crimson Skies are all owned. Like all the video game rights are owned by Microsoft. All the TV rights are owned by like a sub company of Tops. And then like the board game rights are owned by a different sub company of Tops.
Of course. Because why would it be easy?
Because the guy that made them all, like he's literally a dude that just knows how to make money.
I mean, that's fair.
He sells as soon as things get complicated and leaves someone else to deal with the complicated. Like he's done it 4 or 5 times.
I mean, that's the smartest way to do it, right?
Yeah. Well, he created a Harebrained Schemes, the video game company that made Shadowrun Returns, the BattleTech turn-based game. At the height of their success, he sold to Paradox. And then Paradox basically killed the studio.
That's crazy. Those were good games too.
Yeah. Oh, hello, emergency vehicle.
All of those.
There were some of those old FMV games that were a lot of fun. But there were also so many that were just bad.
Yeah. There was a game I used to play on.
It's like clunky 3D games when they first were coming out.
Yeah.
Like,
there was a game that I played back in the day on. It was an old DOS game, and like it had a graphic user interface, but it was basically a Zork ripoff with like.
Oh yeah.
It was like pre 3D when you would just like step through the different still frames of rooms and stuff. Yeah. And I could never get past a certain point, and I finally gave up, and I have never been able to find the game again.
There's a couple of those like old ones where it's like the system that they were written for only knew how to draw polygons. Right. And they were able to do some magic with only being able to draw polygons, and then the colors were all off. Like,
dude, that old Star Wars game, the TIE Fighter game.
Oh yeah.
Like, I wanted to live in that world. It was so cool to me.
I loved the old Wing Commander games. Mm-hmm. Like, so a lot of those, like those could be remade well today. Yeah. But like there's some that just like they're very much products of their era.
Yeah. It was, and there's stuff like that. What's that car game? You just had to it was almost like pre-video game because it was on a roll.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that? You put
I think so.
God, I'm fucking old, dude. What is happening? It was like a video game thing, but it didn't have a video. It was like a tube.
Yeah. Was it like I had some handheld ones that were like that.
Yeah, I had like a little one as a kid that you could hand crank, and or like pedal or something and steer it. It was, but it was like that. It would you would steer and not hit this stuff, and it was like painted on the tube.
Yep. There was some of those old, like, when you get the light to hit them just right and you can see like how they did all the sprites, and it was really clever.
Yeah, for sure.
Like super janky, but really clever. That's where I think like the way that they made stuff fit on like a Nintendo cartridge is magic. And nobody's thinking like that anymore because like what's 10 gig?
Yeah.
Like who cares?
I mean, look at Call of Duty is like 100 gigs now.
Yeah.
Like what? What?
It's
Are
just like
you
why?
insane?
Why?
What do you have in there? Like what could you possibly have in there that would be that much?
Like City Skylines 2 came out. And it was so unoptimized at launch. Like that people have been dragging it over the coals because like it is so unoptimized. And I was like, you used to not be able to get away with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
for sure.
it wouldn't work. Like you had a 1.4 megabit or megabyte floppy disk that you had to fit your whole game on.
Yeah.
Like you could not be sloppy.
It is so crazy to think. And they found like another game inside of like Mario or something.
Oh yeah.
That they were like, oh yeah, we just had leftover space, so we filled it up with junk,
this
a little
thing
junk
that like
game. I'm like, what?
Yep.
Your 32 kilobytes was too much space? Okay.
Yeah, I
It's
don't think it was
crazy.
Mario, but it was one of those
Yeah.
NES games.
It's crazy to me. Like all of that, the code that went into launching us to the moon,
Yeah.
the picture of the woman with her head on it. It's like this tall, and it's just
And it's all punch cards.
yeah. I'm like, what?
Because of course it is.
That's insane.
Dude, my mother still has punch cards that she uses for grocery lists. Because they're the perfect size for a grocery list.
I mean,
Like
that's true. That's crazy. Like
and,
where
like she had that many because when they switched away from punch card, like she used to know how to program on punch cards.
that's crazy.
And that was her job for a while. That was how you programmed a mainframe. And then when you switch away from that to like an actual server, like
it's just really weird to me that we taught rocks to think.
Yeah.
And then
well, and I have such a weird perspective of it because like my mom graduated from college in 71, somewhere thereabouts, with a math degree because computer science didn't exist at that point.
right. Right.
And she has been a programmer with like a couple jaunts out of the game for a minute, but like she has been a programmer that entire time.
That's crazy to me.
Like she retired 5 years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. But like the stuff that she has seen like flabbergasts me when she talks about like some of the languages that she has forgotten because she doesn't use them anymore.
Yeah. Like it's just it's the older I get, the more I realize how quickly everything is happening.
Yeah.
Like not just that like my life seems to be going faster. I don't think it's that. I think it's that the older you get, the more frame of reference you have for time.
Right.
And you start to realize that like, oh, like most of this stuff that I think of is really new. Like most of the stuff around us didn't exist 150 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
what? That's insane.
Hey, Starzy.
Stars. There is a Nubs back there. She was.
Yeah, I'm looking like just looking around me right now. These probably existed. Roll of paper towels.
Yeah.
Probably not like this.
Not like that.
But-
no. Although I don't know. I don't know if it did. I mean, we didn't have toilet paper 100 years ago.
Yeah, good. Yes, that's true. Yeah, glad I don't live 100 years ago.
Right?
But I guess like it would just be normal. Like it's just what you did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that we're going to find people will look back on us and be like, God, can you imagine how disgusting they were when they did insert thing we do every day? We're just like, yeah.
Like all the folk like, hey, look at this great new thing we invented. It keeps people safe. We're going to put it in every single house because it keeps people safe. Oh, that thing that keeps people safe gives people cancer.
Oh, yeah. Oops. Sorry about that.
Because it's like, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. Oh, the amount of hoses that I drank out of as a kid, and the idea of doing that now actually makes me like physically ill.
Yeah. Yep. Paper towel rolls invented in
1931. So they weren't.
Interesting.
There weren't paper towel rolls 150 years ago. They were rolling it out by hand. I don't know. What would you? I guess just rags, right?
Well, I think I've mentioned this on here before, but like there's so many things
of course
that
you
are
do,
just
Brad.
like, this is the way that you do things, but they're so young. Like the pastor robe that you think of when you think pastor robe,
right,
is from the 70s. Like,
it's weird to think that like the dude in The Exorcist was rocking brand new gear.
Right, like, that collar was less than 100 years old when The Exodus came, or when The Exorcist came out.
That's crazy to me.
Like and it was just like there's
the three seashells. You don't know how to use the three seashells.
Yeah, exactly. The 3 seashells. You just got to go to the square machine and get all the paper you need. Also, that just seems rude for no one to teach him about the seashells.
Right? And everyone just laugh at him.
Right?
Like a group of people pointing and laughing at this guy.
Because he doesn't know, like, they know he's from the past.
Right.
And no one taught him about
it. And even after that, they still don't teach him.
And like, there's a dude that he served with on the force. Like, you'd think he would be like, hey man, let me tell you all the stuff you need to know. There's these 3 seashells now.
Nope, none of that. Mom wants Pastor to explain the robe thing, please.
Oh, okay. So y'all are Lutheran, so this is easy. So that white robe that most Lutheran pastors wear, it like there's a wrap that goes around one side and then a wrap that goes around the other side. Like, it's just this like fold over robe. It was invented in the 1970s by a clergy apparel company in Maine. Like, that's crazy. It was before that, pastors would wear the cassock, which is like the black button-up thing, and then a white thing called a surplice on top of it. So like, if you see pictures of like liturgical church pastors from before like the late 70s, early 80s, they'll be dressed very different than how they are dressed now with this. Well, it's officially called a cassock alb. But it's this like one piece thing that replaced a 2-piece thing that was happening before.
Weird.
And the clergy collar thing was from a style that was going out of fashion. So many pastor gear things are styles that were going out of fashion.
Styles that moved on and they were like, nah, we're good.
So if you watch, it's Mrs. Pastor noticed this after, because she watched one of the Pride and Prejudice versions. There's this, all the characters like have their shirts their shirt collars tucked in such a way that they look like they're clergy.
Yeah.
But that was just the style.
Yeah.
And then when that style started to fade, this guy in Scotland invented the detachable clergy collar to like allow them to keep looking like that.
Interesting. And every time that I hear the word detachable, the song Detachable Penis goes through my head.
Fair enough.
Detachable penis. Okay. Sorry. Oh, I have a game for us to play.
Oh, okay.
But you're only partially involved.
Okay.
Same, Satyr. Same. I need the chat's help to help me choose something. I need to make a choice. Sorry, I'm looking for something that I can't find. I'm looking for... There we go. Hey, UI. Steam's UI is awful.
Yeah.
It is so hard to find anything.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Don't pull the lever. Pull the strings. So Brad, is your band getting a new lead singer? What's going on? Have you found someone? What's happening? What am I looking for? I'm just trying to bide myself some time while I find something in Steam. There's a list. 23rd. Oh, nice. So, have you already been? I'm guessing already been practicing with this person, or is it like that going to be the first time? Like, hey, just grab someone out of the audience. First one to show up with a microphone. Hey.
I've been to shows like that. Sometimes they go really well. Spicy Archie is very spicy. I don't know where he is right now. I assume he is with Mrs. Pastor.
Okay, I might have to. Oh, nice. But this is such good content.
Yep, we're real good at content.
I'm looking for a link inside of Steam, but I can't say what the link is.
Okay.
Because I can just say it. And but I don't want to.
There is a search bar.
There is.
You can search by recent activity. That might help.
No. Pastor, if... Oh, by the way, Satyr, did you get a new job? I haven't been able to connect. I did not. I had a really good interview with another company, and it went really well. I got along really well with the dude, but I heard back from the headhunter dude.
Okay.
And the quote was something like, Casey's very personable, and I think he would get along very well with our team. I enjoyed our conversation very much, but we found someone with more skill.
Oh, well.
And I was like, okay, that's fine. They had a couple things in their tech stack that I have not done. And that could tell it hurt me when he asked those questions. But whatever.
Well, maybe they'll have something else come up.
Yeah. Brad.
I'll type that question out later. Okay.
Damn it. Oh, okay. Oh, he was typing and hit enter on accident, I think.
Oh. Okay. I mean, you can just type it again now. That's fine. Or just continue from if.
Yeah, you can hit enter all of the many times you want.
Yeah, I mean, Reaper exists, so.
Like... Oh yeah, the new job. What do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do? What is it that you would say you do here? I'm a people person. It's exhausting.
Everything is exhausting.
I mean, just being out of bed is exhausting sometimes.
Yeah, you don't even need to ensure in all the leaders.
That's true. Pastor's really good at just you can pretty much just mash your face on a keyboard and he'll figure out what you mean.
Kind of learned to have to wing it with that monster over there.
The Jorb is a medical scribe for an eye surgeon's office. So the problem is when I hear medical scribe, what I picture is a dude in one of those monk robes sitting in a corner with parchment and a feather quill. And like as the doctor talks, because the doctor's like a doctor with the fucking purge doctor things. And he's in there going, and the scribe's like, yes, yes.
Satyr has been forgetting for the moment
Yes.
what he was actually. He's been stalling to remember what it was that he was doing.
Yeah. No, I know what I'm trying to do. I don't think the button I'm looking for is here.
Oh,
And I don't know how to get to it. I'm in Scrubs and putting notes into medical charts on the computer in the corner. So close. Nice. So are you like in the room with people? Like when the doctor's talking? Are you like, because there's people in the room when I'm at the doctor sometime. And that's what they do is they just sit and like put the notes in. And I always wondered, like, they're usually nurses at my doctor's office. But that would seem like, yeah, that would seem like I would see that would be a scribe. That seems like an interesting job. That seems like you could have a lot to process when you get home.
well,
Oh, it's an eye doctor though, right? So it's just,
so it's not. It's just.
Yeah.
I mean, eye stuff's weird, but it's not like nobody's telling you about their dinglings.
yeah, like it could get gross, but it's just gonna be like, oh yeah, I saw this fucked up eye today. That's the worst it's ever gonna be, right?
Which I mean, I'm getting like eye twitchy even thinking about it, but still,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
But it seems doable, right? Like you're not gonna have something happen at work one day and come home traumatized by what walked through the door. Hopefully. Ooh. Wow. 2.5 miles. That's not.
Oh wow,
That's-
that isn't bad.
That's not bad at all.
But and that's good exercise.
Yeah, I don't think I do 2.5 miles in a day. I walk back and forth to the bathroom a lot. Like once an hour. I pee a lot. I
How
also
much water are you drinking, sir?
a lot.
Okay.
I have my big water bottle. It's one of those the water bottles that the girls with the hair, the things in their hair.
Okay.
Oh Jesus! There was a style in like middle school with like middle school kids for a while that had a name, and it was like super popular. And it was that they would put like those little butterfly clips in their hair, and then they had the water bottles.
Okay.
And there was like this one specific kind of water bottle, and so I of course had to buy one because the middle school kids said it was cool.
Oh.
But yeah, I drink like one of those an hour. So yeah, I pee a lot.
Okay.
Do you have a water
much
bottle
stuff
with
do you-
motivational phrases on it? No.
How much stuff do you do just because middle school kids tell you it's cool?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If a middle school kid ran up to me and said something was cool, I would probably just agree, and that would be in my head now. That's a cool thing to do.
Okay.
So like when I knew I needed a water bottle, and I was like, what kind of water bottle do I want? I was like, oh yeah, elementary, middle school kids think this one's cool. I'll get
Alright.
that one.
Fair enough.
That is the information I had to draw on at the moment, sir. I'm sorry. No. I learn a lot on TikTok about trends in communities that I'm not a part of.
Oh, okay.
Not saying that I was seeing TikToks from middle school kids.
Uh-huh.
It was their moms.
Is that
Because
is that
TikTok
better?
thinks I'm a middle school kid mom. I now think that I'm a lesbian still. It's questioning my gender. we are definitely. It's like, oh, are you trans or MB? Because you're not. We've tried everything else. What are you? But I do believe that I'm a black woman or man, depending on the day, that is about to go through menopause. Because I've been getting a lot of menopausal content lately.
Okay.
So, like, age-wise, they're pretty close. They're pretty close.
Okay.
Oh, I think you should upgrade from a shovel to a backhoe. Yeah. I'm just going to stop digging.
Is that a euphemism?
Games. This is where it's at. Followed recent. Oh, there it is. Jesus.
You found it finally.
Sorry. Okay. I have to make a choice between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
That's a lot of choices, dude.
15, 16, 17, 18 different games. There is a list that has 18 games on it, and I have to pick one. And I don't know how to do it because I didn't make this list.
I have questions.
And I don't know if I can tell you what's on the list. Like, it would be a whole lot easier if I didn't tell anyone what was on the list. For me, it'd be a lot easier for me.
Well, and if it's the list that I'm concerned that you're looking at,
yeah,
I don't use that list the way that it's supposed to be used.
Oh, okay. Damn.
It doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like, it doesn't necessarily, like, it.
I was just looking at everything that had an add to cart button.
Okay, so that list is it's stuff that I'm interested in enough to find out when it goes on sale for like $5.
I mean,
so it's stuff, but I'm like, I don't know if I actually want it, but I'm like, for $5, and that's kind of what
fair.
that's for. Because I like, it tells me when things go on sale. So like, I'm waiting for instance, the Tropico 6 DLCs to come out, but I'm also waiting for them to go on sale for like $2.
I mean, that's fair. That's about what they're worth, to be honest.
Right. That's and then like, I have Football Manager 2024 on there. I don't actually want that game, but it's on there to remind me that I want to buy 2025 because they're finally adding women's soccer.
Oh.
And I want to support, like, I want to use my money to say, I think this was a good decision.
Gotcha.
And that you should have done a while ago.
What was the last Football Manager that you bought?
The last one that I bought was football 19.
And what was the first one that you bought?
The first one I bought was 11.
So for how many years? How many?
It's my played time very conspicuously goes down after I started dating Mrs. Pastor.
Oh, funny how that happens.
Funny how that happens.
Almost like you might have been filling some sort of hole in your life with Football Manager. Does she make you put together a lot of spreadsheets for stuff?
I still do that for fun.
Oh, I told you that they're putting Java. I think it's Java. They're putting Java directly into Excel.
Oh, okay.
So instead of just being able to do like little tiny, you'll be able to write like full Java programs inside of a cell.
Interesting.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well, I know they're starting to be like GPT interaction.
Yeah. Oh, did you see? Okay. So
it's so clumsy though. Like at the moment, it's so clumsy.
When I bought this beautiful thing,
that
I'm madly in love with, it came with the light version of Ableton Live.
Oh, okay.
which was the reason I bought it, because I finally, like, it clicked in my brain finally.
Like how Ableton works?
Yeah. And like how
Okay.
I would use it. Because I was in Reaper and I was I was like, how do
you feel about that, Reaper?
I was inside of Reaper, inside of him, holy.
Not better.
Okay, inside of him, unholy. Oh, God. I was in Reaper. And I was trying to put together a file that I could perform live.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And just loop it and like figure out a way to
Yeah,
control
Reaper
that.
Ableton's going to be the best at that.
Yeah. And that's when it clicked. And I went and watched a video and was like, I get it now.
That's how it works.
Yeah. So why was I saying that? Totally forgot how I got there.
Because you were in Reaper's hole?
Yeah. Wait, how do we get to a hole? I think you just added that, sir.
You said you were in Reaper holy.
Holy. As in, like, I was wholly within Reaper. I was holy.
Do we need to take another break?
I'm fantastic.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. I will say, there's one on here that I almost bought the moment that I saw it just because of the name.
Okay, which one?
Stray Gods, a role-playing musical.
Yeah, I saw a review of that one, and again, it's interesting for like $5. So I'm waiting for it to go on sale for like $5.
I don't even know. It looks like one of those like anime dating sims.
It is it's a musical, but like with the Greek gods. So like you're a demigod and you're singing.
Okay.
You're singing to all the gods because you are like possessed by the spirit of the last muse. I don't honestly understand the plot, but I'm again waiting for it to go on sale for $5 because it seems $5 interesting. It does not seem at all to be $30 interesting.
That's fair. That I'll give you that.
There's like a wooden train game that's like $20, but if it ever goes down to like $4, it seems $4 interesting.
It does seem $4 interesting.
So all of these games, they're like,
that's fair.
They're there because and there's a couple that I'm like actually waiting for. Like Avowed is one that I'm actually excited for. Homeworld 3 is one that I'm actually excited for. Mech Warrior 5, I like part of me is like gonna hate buy that, which I like because I cannot play more than like 20 minutes of Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries.
Really?
Like I can play it for like 2 missions and then I'm just done because they're so boring.
That's like awful. See, that was the feeling that I got the online thing.
Yeah.
I was excited about that, and then I logged in and it was like 400 people and they were all doing the same quest.
But supposedly Mech Warrior 5 Clans is going to have more of a like crafted story like the older Mech Warriors did.
Good. Those were awesome.
Because like it needs it. Like
yes.
One of my big frustrations with Mech Warrior 5, it's just like you slog until you kill everything and then it's over.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no surprises.
Yeah. There was one that like there was a story mode and you would maybe unlock areas or maybe they were already open. I don't know. But I know that once you went through an area, you could go back through it off story, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like once you played through the story, you could go back to the old like maps or areas or whatever.
Mech Warrior 4 do that?
Maybe.
Mech Warrior 3, like I think Mech Warrior 3, I think nailed it. Like it had the right feel, but it doesn't run on any. Like I cannot get it to run on my computer.
I played that online thing I got it on Steam.
Well, it was
Actually,
free. Like,
yeah. Well, no, this was a different. It was a mech game, but it wasn't Mech Warrior.
oh, okay.
But it was only online, which was the downside. It was really
Yeah.
good, but you could only do PvP.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that MechWarrior 5 actually like scratches that like MechWarrior itch,
Yeah,
I guess.
for sure.
Because those old ones were fun.
So
Like
good.
I still miss the force feedback joystick where you're like every time you walk, the joystick's like flump, flump.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
That game was really good, man. And
Uh,
it's one of those that I don't want to play again though, because I know it would. I
yeah,
would be sad. I would be so sad
they
because it would.
don't hold up well.
It would be like
Now,
watching Thundercats now. I fucked up Thundercats by watching it as an
so
adult because in my head it was so good.
so here's my feel. So MechWarrior 1, like the like original one
Mhm.
is clunky as heck. Like it's just bad.
Yeah.
It's from that era. Like it might have been one of the first like actual 3D games, and it shows.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. MechWarrior 2 and that series, like it's old enough that it feels nostalgic,
Mhm.
but like the graphics are bad enough that like they're bad, but it's like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like they did their best.
Like,
But when you get into like 3 and 4, the graphics like they look good enough to look worse.
Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness. My brother got
Oh
deep into
yeah.
that game. I wonder if he
Um
owns it.
that one does okay because it's mostly like got a hand drawn kind of feel to it.
Mhm.
Like it's definitely clunky, don't get me wrong. But
It's the reason
it
we will never play Assassin's Creed again.
yeah.
You can't go back because that's
No.
broken. It
And
was great,
yeah,
but
there's
it's
a
broken.
I went through and replayed Warcraft and Warcraft 2 a couple years ago, and it was rough because it's just
Yeah.
they just didn't know how to do UI. Really, that's what it comes
Yeah.
down to.
Yeah. Dude, UIs are hard.
But now, like it's going back and playing Warcraft 3 actually held up though.
Yeah.
Like it was still a pleasant experience.
See, I never did any of the Warcraft universe until WoW.
Mm.
And then after WoW, I was so burnt out on it. I was
Well,
like, I
yeah.
don't care about any of this.
StarCraft does okay too. But it
played
also
that.
had like it has enough life that it kept getting patched.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it came out like in the era when it was expected that you would have the internet.
Right. And StarCraft 2 is free now, isn't it? Is that the
Yeah,
one that's free? And then
something like that.
3 is still paid.
Is there a 3? I don't know.
Is Blizzard still making games? As soon as I stopped playing WoW, I was like, no, 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 no.
They're apparent. Oh my gosh. So here's what's fun. They announced that WoW Classic is going to bring in Cataclysm stuff, and everybody's pissed because they're like, no, like the whole reason we wanted WoW Classic was to not have Cataclysm.
So they're gonna have to like have these
Yeah.
servers that are set to. Oh God, can you imagine?
And I'm just like, this is why you don't listen to fans. Like, and like that, and that's all I can think of. Like, as
Yeah.
terrible as that is, like, there's a reason why you don't give people what they want, because as soon as you do, like,
It all goes
There
to
was-
hell.
there was a dude that like was this at last church? Might have been. I don't remember if, like what church it was at, but like but this dude he asked me for something that I was fixing to do already.
Hmm.
So I'm like, oh well, that's in the works. but it made him think that like, oh, well, I asked for this thing and he did it. So what I should do is ask for more things.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm not doing that. Like I did that thing because like I was always going to do that thing. Like,
yeah. Or when you the incremental creep
yeah.
of like, oh hey, can you do this for me? And you're like, yeah, sure, I can do this thing, this one thing. The worst was smokers at jobs.
Oh,
There was always that one guy that you would try to avoid because, hey, can I bum a smoke? Just one cigarette. But it was like one every time. You're like, no, I'm just buying you cigarettes now.
We actually got around that by basically like cycling when I was in college. We would just cycle through like whose pack of smokes we took from. Because then like, so like if you missed like, oh, it's my turn, but I don't have it, then like, well, you're up next or else you don't get one. Like, but we have been like in the throes of scope creep, and scope creep is the worst. Like we had a project, like the project started with, there are too many keys to our church and too many people have too many keys to our church.
Okay.
So let's rekey the church. Okay. Started there.
Oh, okay.
And then it turned into, well, we also really need security cameras, which is true. Like we do. Like we need security cameras on the outside of the building because we've had some problems on our property. But and then it turned into, well, it'd be really nice to have. So we finally were like, okay, this project has gotten way too big. We need to just cut down and get to just like, we are doing the locks. We are doing cameras. That's it. Like we're not doing fancy electronic locks.
We need motion sensors and a hybrid system with infrared.
We can retrofit electronic locks later if we want to. Like we can do this, we can do that. And because we were talking about doing like key card systems to get in. And in some ways, like we can justify it all, but it's like we don't need that. So now now that we're working on our next project, we're trying to do really hard to be like, okay, what do we actually need out of this? Yeah. And let's stick to this once we decide what we actually need.
Yeah. Scope creep's awful.
It's horrible because it's so insidious.
Mm-hmm. And like, especially when it is like a paid thing, it's so easy to be like, yeah, I can slap that one little thing on. Like, sure. And then that's the moment. Like,
because once you slap that, well, and because unless it's, oh yeah, I can slap that one little thing on for an extra X amount of hours. Like
you're gonna feel it too.
All of a sudden, that one little thing doesn't matter quite so much.
Yeah. That's one thing that's it's both nice and a curse going from working in like at a firm, right?
Oh yeah.
And then going to a SaaS company because we don't have deadlines, right? Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
But our entire job is scope creep.
Yeah.
And we just have to watch scope creep. Like we exist because
you watch
of scope
the
creep.
Scope creep.
Mm-hmm. They get so frustrated. Everybody gets so frustrated about features that are getting added that are dumb, and I'm like, I don't fucking care, man.
Well, and then, so I've watching like the City Skylines 2 build up because it came out like a month ago, maybe. And it was so funny to watch people be like, "Well, the game's gonna have everything that was in City Skylines 1, right?" And they're like, no, like there was like a decade's worth of DLC for that game. Like you were not like everything's not going to be there all at once. And people were like, we're now granted, there were some stuff that was like, that really should have been there day one that wasn't. And that was a different kind of thing to be mad about.
Yeah.
But like, you're not going to get because whenever you restart, it gets you a chance to like get out of some of that scope creep. But when somebody's like pet feature isn't there,
Right. It's always just, God, it makes me crazy.
yeah.
It makes me crazy.
And this is why you end up with like constant incremental updates and never like a new version.
Yeah. Hopefully, supposedly, if I stay where I'm at, we're going to be starting to rebuild it. I don't know. I don't even want to. But I have another toy coming tomorrow.
Oh no. How much money did you spend, dude? How much money did you spend instead of calling your therapist? How much money could you have saved if you'd have just called your therapist like I told you to do?
Look. I am fully aware of where all of this is coming from. I am fully aware of why it's happening. I know when it will end. I know how much control I have over the situation. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much a therapist could help me. She's just going to say, don't do that dumb thing. And I'm going to be like, yeah, that's what my brain says too, but guess how much I listen to it? Hey, look, I haven't bought the Mac Mini yet.
Oh, okay. So that's not the new toy that's coming.
I'm actually waiting for Black Friday.
Oh, God.
Or Cyber Monday. Anyway, I got a Flipper Zero.
Oh, okay.
Which
you're gonna break into stuff. Okay.
Yeah. What made me think of it was you talking about the key cards.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like that's one thing that is really. He told me you just got a Mac for him, but you got him one of the little entry level ones, right? I've been looking for one locally to get, and
oh, best wishes.
Yeah, like we have a Mac store, but they don't.
They're gonna have like iPads and the laptops. They're not gonna have.
They have like the base of everything.
Yeah.
And anything else, it's like, oh yeah, that's because it's right before the holiday season. Everything else is like, oh yeah, that we'll get that to you in 3.5 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
But
I want one for making music.
I'm still a little bit flabbergasted by like just Mac pricing, like the way they do those accessories. It's so yeah.
The funny thing is,
because it's very much like, oh well, I mean, it costs this much. It's only like $50 more to do.
The last computer that I paid for, like other than Macs and laptops, like I've never built a laptop because it don't really work that way. The last, like I have built every computer I've owned, like, minus 1 or 2. The one was given me, whatever. I still, every time I buy something from Apple, it never enters my mind how much I'm paying for what I'm paying. Right?
Right.
Like when you're selecting your options, it doesn't ever.
You're not realizing that you're paying $400 for 16 gig of RAM.
Right? It's $300 to go from 512 to 1 terabyte.
Right. That is actually,
ridiculous.
Let's find out. Hold on.
Like,
let's find out right now.
What?
Let's see. Product.
It's insane.
Storage. So a 1 terabyte Samsung 970 Evo Plus is $89. A 2 terabyte is $130.
So we're gonna go look at the Macs that I've been looking at. So I'm looking for.
Actually, hold on. This will be fun. Let me. We'll like try to build an equivalent PC, even though like the processor is going to be a little bit wonky. But like, let's play this game.
Because I'm not gonna lie, their whole processor RAM situation they've got fucking locked in.
Yeah, because it's like this weird like.
It's like a hybrid.
It's on the same chip, but it's not.
But it's like connected more, but not. But it's fast. Like 16 gigs is more faster because it's connecting for more streams of the brain.
But we'll just go with it, and we'll like.
So I'm looking at a Mac Mini. So you're gonna have to find. Are you actually gonna build on like PC Part Picker? Yeah.
So like, give me like a chip type here.
What's the like decent fast Ryzen right now?
Not. You're better off going to Intel.
Okay.
So like, okay. So which one are you looking at?
Let me find it.
The regular
I
M2,
was looking at the M2 Pro.
the M2 Pro. Okay.
Yes.
So we're going with which chip is right for me? 10 core or 12 core?
10 core CPU, 16 core GPU.
Okay, so we'll say
Actually, let me build out. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I was looking at.
okay, so let's say if it's 12 core, you said?
10 core CPU, 16 core GPU. But then it
Okay,
has
so
a
let's
16 core neural engine.
okay. So we'll go with the like Core i7, the brand new hotness from Intel. Like we'll just go with that. Like
Okay.
so we'll do a motherboard. We'll do a CPU cooler. Like we'll just do
You need to
a
find a tiny case, tiny motherboard. They're very
Oh, that's
tiny.
right. They are very, very tiny. That's true. So we got to go. So let's back up. Let's go motherboard. Would it be ITX or micro ATX?
I think there's a super micro now.
So let's go mini ITX, I guess.
Yes, mini ITX is. Yeah, that's probably about what you're rocking in one of those.
Okay, so mini ITX.
Actually, that might be a little smaller. That's a dope little cord. I like that form factor.
Okay, so
Huh.
we're gonna do. Or okay, I guess the mini ITX. Well, because we have to do. I have to figure out how to do a tiny. This is kind of fun because it's just like it's a very particular
Right?
like thing. Okay,
Okay, so the
so
Apple's M2 Pro chip is faster than the 12th gen Intel i7, but slower than the 13th gen i5.
okay, so let's do a 13 Gen i5 then.
Okay.
So mini ITX. I do not want to spend that much on a motherboard. Um, we'll do that. Like the small form factor just makes it complicated.
Yeah.
So we said so it's about a 13 Gen i5.
Yeah, that's a 15 gen I or 13 gen i7, right? And then a
Um,
15 gen i5 is faster than it.
so
So it's
13 Gen.
under
Let's
a 15 gen i5. I think is what it is.
Okay. Say that one more time for me.
Well, let me look at it again to make sure
Okay.
what I was looking at is correct. Uh, well, crap. uh, the Apple M2 Pro chip is faster than the 12th gen i7,
Okay.
but slower than the 13th gen i5.
Okay. So we will go with a 13th Gen i5.
So, yeah, that would be a super fast M2
Okay.
Pro.
So let me make sure I'm doing 13th Gen here. Um, and it's kind of like it's a weird. Do we know how Mac Pro graphics shake up?
I don't know.
So M2 Pro GPU equivalent. So M2 16 Similar to a 120 watt RTX 3080 mobile or a desktop 3060 Ti. Okay. I can work with that.
Yeah. We can do that.
Okay, so I don't need
It's gonna
integrated
It's gonna
graphics.
be so much cheaper.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna make me throw up a little. Maybe I don't want to know.
Oh no, we're doing this now.
I mean, you could do it. Maybe just don't tell me.
Okay. So I need to let's pick a cooler once I pick a case. I'll wait on that for now. How much RAM were we doing?
32.
32. We'll just do that one. It's right there. Sure. 32 DDR5 6000. It's right there. Storage. We'll just throw in a terabyte. Heck, it's only 130 bucks. We'll just do 2 terabytes Samsung 990 Pro.
Why did you do 2? That makes me upgrade.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Do either a 512 or 1 terabyte. One of those two.
We'll do a terabyte because 512 is not enough. So 1 terabyte. Oh, are we bringing the cat over here?
Oh,
We can bring the cat over here.
kitty.
Oh, he's getting on the table. Okay, come here, bud.
Like he can hear me.
Come here. Oh, he's crawling through like all of my stuff.
Dun, 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 dun,
He's gonna
dun,
step on the keyboard soon. No, he's just exploring. All right, and we said 3060 Ti, right?
I think so.
All right. 3060 Ti. We'll just do.
I love that one of the upgrade options is 10 gigabit Ethernet.
Yeek.
Like,
What would anyone do with that?
Someone in a video I saw was talking about how it's for like excuse me, like render farms.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. That's
weird. I need to
but
find.
okay.
Oh, here we go. MSI Aero ITX. There's no price on that, of course. Never mind. Because I need to find. Because it's gonna have to fit in an ITX case. Actually, maybe let's pick a case next. That might be the most helpful. Mini ITX desktop. Sure. Cooler Master Tiny Box. Oh, I don't actually need. Ooh, that's actually kind of cool looking. Here, I'll send it. Like, I'll put it in chat. Hopefully that comes up. Like, that's kind of cool looking.
I don't think it came through.
Oh, that's because I'm me. Hold on. I need to change my face. That's why it didn't work.
Some weirdo in my spam though.
Some weirdo in your thing. You're gonna have to delete them. Okay, go over here. Change my face.
The many faces of Pastor Recoil.
Yep. All right, now let's try. Let's try that.
Oh, actually, I do like that.
Isn't that a cool looking case?
Damn. Now I want to build one of these just because I could.
Okay. So now I can pick a video card.
Yeah, that's nice. Damn it.
That hopefully will fit.
That's what I need is more computers.
Okay,
I guess.
Supposedly this works with a riser cable. So I'm trusting PC part picker here.
We'll go with it.
So with this case, what can I do for cooling?
Good luck, sir.
You
can blow on it.
Right.
Looks like you actually can fit a cooler in there. Like, here's a gigantic GPU fan on this.
So Fractal Terra Mini ITX. Wow, it actually like it can handle real size GPUs. That's impressive.
That's a
But
pretty impressive little box there, sir.
Okay, total fan mounts 1x120. Okay. So oh. Oh, that's fun.
Nice. I'm glad that it's the second amaretto and she's talking about me. That makes me happy.
So I want to do 120 is
that means that at least some of the memories are good.
Yeah. Oh, I might have to do just a regular fan. All right.
I love how so few options I have.
Yeah.
I can that, or that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll try that cooler. I don't know if it's any good, but it's in middle of the road price. That's kind of what I'm going for here. And then you need an appropriate sized power supply. Man, we'll go with that. Why not? Okay. So, and let's just even include a full license of Windows 11.
Yeah, there you go.
You're gonna need a monitor, but you don't need a monitor. No, you got your switcher. You don't need a monitor.
I got a great monitor.
You don't need keyboard or anything. You have an external audio interface, so you don't need a sound card. Okay. I think I've got something here that might be similar.
Okay. And how much would that cost?
It actually comes out, and this is just really rough. Roundabouts 1,500, and that's including operating system. Yeah. So it's not that bad. Mac Minis are actually
okay. Because here's what I have in my cart right now, which is the M2 Pro. There are two M2 Pros. This is the cheaper of the two. 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte, regular Ethernet. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's $18.99.
Okay.
And what I was probably going to do is downgrade to a 512. And I found a base that is like the exact same size and form factor that gives you a whole bunch of I/O. It's like a dock.
Oh, so you could like plug a USB 3 hard drive into.
Oh, it's got an M2 slot.
Oh, it's got. Oh, nice.
So I could drop like an 8 gig M2 into it. If I wanted to. Yeah. So I'll probably do that instead.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not bad. Like Mac Minis, if you do that, because like as soon as you get to like the fact that they want $2,000 extra for an 8 terabyte SSD,
it's disgusting. So
like what would
it is $400 to go from 16 gigs of RAM to 32. $400. I can get 32 gigs of RAM for $400. This is like an added price. I don't.
So I could get.
Yes, I will be here in 2 weeks. I think. I ain't got nowhere to be.
As far as I know, yeah.
Next week I won't be here because that's a thing, right? Native American Heritage Day.
Yep. So an 8 terabyte.
Yeah, 2 weeks. And yeah, thank you for hanging out.
Yep.
And bye Lazy's mom.
Bye Lazy and Lazy's mom. Yeah, so most of the 8 terabyte SSDs that I'm seeing are between 800 and 1,000. So like for them to double that is ridiculous.
Yeah. So like it's the difference between a 512 and a 1 terabyte hard drive, the reason that I'm thinking about going to 512 instead of a terabyte is it's a $200 difference.
Yeah. I also cannot think about like why anyone would need 10 gig Ethernet.
There is a very specific purpose. Let me see. It's some sort of render farm type thing.
Oh, okay. Well, but if you're doing that, you're going to buy a studio, not a mini.
You would think so. What is this?
That is a clean looking. Like I like that case.
Right? It's kind of sexy. I kind of wish my computer fit it.
Yeah.
Like I like my case, but that one is very
that is a nice case. I mean, you can't put like anything else in there, but like it is going to be the motherboard, the GPU, and that's it. That's a clean case.
Let me rephrase this. I'm asking Bard to find it for me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's for video editing. Like inside a video, like in a whole bunch of. Sorry, I'm gonna let my brain catch up. Inside of a business that does a lot of photo editing, you want to be able to transfer those files really quickly. Those 10 gig Ethernet so that you can transfer back and forth.
Okay, so it's
and audio engineering. It's talking about storing audio to backup.
Oh yeah,
moving those files around.
But even then, like
photography,
a lot of that's going to be like you will bottleneck at the storage device, not.
Yeah. But like my NAS, well, yours will do the same thing. It'll store it in RAM first, so that it can get it out of your computer, so that it has time to write down to the hard drive.
Well, I have a pair of SSDs in mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still like, it's still not quite topping off my gigabit Ethernet. Like,
yeah, but like, I'm definitely not doing the same kind of things that like a recording studio is doing with their network. Like I put my neighbors to shame, I'm sure, but beyond that,
yeah. Okay, so like a super tiny Mac Mini M2, like I asked Bard what was more cost effective, a Mac Mini M2 or a Mini ITX PC. And it's basically like, you're for a basic model, like the Mac might be a little bit more cost effective, but like if you're getting into the super high level stuff, you're going to end up saving more money with like a Mini ITX PC, because by then you're going to want something bigger anyways.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing that kills me. And this is the only reason that Apple is, they're brilliant, right? And not because they make amazing stuff.
Their pricing is fantastic.
Like,
because as soon as you built that Mac Mini, it was like $1,900.
Yeah, it's like $8
for the Mac Mini Pro, right?
Yeah, for 32 and 1 tera, it's like 1,900. Yeah. Or
you could get a Mac Studio starting at 2,000.
Right.
It's not that much more.
Yeah, it's actually cheaper to upgrade to a Mac Studio than it is to upgrade to the faster CPU.
Because then you can get the M2 Max.
But if you look at
and it's the same amount of memory and the same amount of RAM.
But if you look at the first entry level Mac Studio, you're looking at the M2 Max, and you end up in the same situation where
Because as soon as you start, so it's 4,000 for the M2 Ultra, and as
Mhm.
soon as you start going, well, I guess it would be nice to have a little bit more RAM. It'd be
Mhm.
nice to have a little bit more SSD.
Mhm.
But and then the next thing you know, you got an Ultra.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like I don't. However they do their pricing, it's magical, man.
And it's like they overlap it all so perfectly that like
Honestly, though, like if you're gonna spend 1,800 on a mini, you really ought to just spend the 2,000 on the studio. Like
well, I
that's what's so hard.
it
Like unless you
is.
specifically want that mini form factor.
There are a couple reasons that I'm shooting for the mini specifically. Uh, there are a couple drawbacks to the Mac Studio,
Okay.
especially when working with audio.
Interesting.
The Mac Studio has a big fan on it because that CPU runs hotter, and that
Oh.
fan is noisy compared to the Mac Mini, which I
Well,
don't think has any fans in it.
but if you're doing, I mean, if everything's off board,
No, it squeals. Like it's known to be a really loud,
oh,
obnoxious fan that just squeals like a motherfucker.
well, but like if it's in a different room from where you're recording, though,
Yeah, but I'm not. I have one room.
yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like I
That's a
had
good.
the problem. The biggest problem is at some point with Apple, no matter what you're buying, you have to just pick what your top is, right?
Yeah.
You have to say this is the thing I'm not changing from.
Okay.
And that was I just picked the Mac Mini between the different form factors and was like, okay, I
Yeah.
just got to keep it at least there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Okay,
sense.
I need water.
Yeah. Sounds good. I'm could also need. I'm good on water, but I should subtract water. Subtract water. Good.
Okay. We'll be
Yeah.
back. While
We'll be
while
back.
we're gone, if Brad is Brad still here? Brad, are you still here?
Is Reaper still here?
Is Reaver still? Who's here? I would like everyone to check in, please.
Yeah, because I don't know who's here.
I closed the window that tells me if anyone's even watching this, so we could be just talking to
Uh,
ourselves at this point. That's
um,
fine.
it says four are watching, but
Oh,
one of them's me.
one of them's probably
One of them
Reaper's
might be
here.
you. Oh, Reaper's here. Okay, so Reaper. Um,
Let's see. Oh, Reaper. Go onto Steam. Go find Pastor's wish list. And pick a game.
again, I don't use my wish list for that. My wish list does not exist because I want the things on it. I just want them for not the amount of money that like they were. Yeah.
Shh, don't tell. Hold on. How do I do this? Don't tell Pastor. Shh. Don't tell Pastor. I want to get him a video game for his birthday, but I don't know what to get him. I need help with that, please. Okay, you can listen now.
Oh, okay. I was totally not listening to that whole.
All right, I'm gonna go pee.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Reaper, why don't you just think about what you've done
Yes.
and report back?
And we're back. Hello, we're back.
We're back.
I was just noticing that I could get the Mac Studio tomorrow.
See, and I ordered myself a new tablet, but like that was $150.
Right. That was the flipper that I bought.
Now, admittedly, I did also get I bought a new laptop a bit ago, so
yeah, I've spent way too much money recently. I got Roland has software versions of a whole bunch of their old hardware synths that are really good replications of them. And I bought two of them. They're not cheap. That's probably the most I've paid for
one of the things that's so funny to me, the best not 808 that I've ever heard was on an Alesis product.
Is it a DM5?
Yeah, their 808 is perfect. Like, it's so good.
The DM5 drum module. I have my keyboard that's in the closet because it's just fucking massive and I don't play keys.
Yeah.
Is an Alesis QS 6.1 that has the main DM5 drum kit, like that old school, like late 80s, early 90s DM5 drum.
It's so good.
And yes, my wish list is boring.
Actually, and the 808 sim on my Yamaha DTX is actually pretty good too.
I found
but of course that one I can I was looking for like a drop because that's a nice effect to have.
It is.
So I've got patched to a kick pedal to just give that like drop and that
you need to sample
drop
Beastie Boys drop.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on your new pad there.
They could.
But this, so I went into Audacity because Audacity makes it really easy to do this, and I just did a sine sweep, and then uploaded it, and then it just let me use the uploaded WAV file as to trigger.
Oh, nice.
So I've got one that's like a little drop, that's just like a, and then I've got the one that's like.
Nice. There's I kind of went on. I almost bought a whole bunch of hardware synths.
Okay.
Specifically 3 of them. 2 of them I'm still 100% gonna buy. They're from let me pull them up actually.
Of like actual hardware synths.
Yeah. So Moog makes this thing. I really want the Moog version, right? Of course, of course. But there's a couple things about it that I don't like. It has no MIDI. They didn't put MIDI on it, which is fine. I get it. Like, that's a Moog thing. Everything is VC, and it's cool. Whatever.
Didn't they actually approve a new MIDI standard a little bit ago?
Yeah, MIDI 2 or 3. It's dope. I just watched a video about it. The stuff you can send
I just
now
saw
is
something
dope.
on TikTok about it.
Yeah, like most of the hardware that I have now, like this new hardware that I'm getting, is all using the new MIDI standard. So
what is it?
You plug it in and it maps
connector does it
itself.
use?
Mine's USB-C.
Oh, so okay, so it is all USB-C. So it's like MIDI fancy over USB-C.
I mean, it's MIDI as a format, so it can go over MIDI. Like, you can send it over any kind of cable you want. But now it's easier to just send USB-C can send power and this new MIDI standard at the same time. So why not?
Why not? That's dope.
Yeah.
About time they updated MIDI.
No shit, right? And it is so good. Like, the update is fantastic. Like the 127 velocity thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, finally.
All gone.
Finally.
You actually have more than 127 now?
It's all just so much better. And the fact that I can plug this piece of kit into any DAW and it will auto map to whatever the DAW, like the DAW recognizes what this has on it.
Oh, nice.
So like
That's good.
And like of course it's auto. This is like specifically set up for live. But like even with any piece of software, it's just, and you can plug other pieces of hardware into other pieces of hardware and they will understand what the other pieces of hardware, so you can like daisy chain hardware if you want to.
Nice.
It's really dope.
I can see that coming in actually a lot of handy for certain folk.
Yeah. So they have this thing called the Sound Studio, and it's 3 different mini, they call them semi-modular synths because they make noise out of the box.
Like, is it Moog?
Yes. Moog Sound Studio.
Sound Studio.
And there's a couple different versions of it.
Mother 32.
That's one of them.
DFAM and Subharmonicon.
Yes. And the one in there that is the one to die for is that DFAM. It's
Okay.
Drummer from Another Mother. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's percussion-y,
Yeah.
but not drums. But you could make it drums if you want it to be, but it's more of that like Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, bloopy blippy kind of.
And of course, and it's all analog.
Yes,
and
tasty analog. But it's also $600 or something. Like the entire kit of all 3 is like $2,000. And that I'm not gonna do because I almost
but it sounds so good.
I know, right?
Like, I'm listening to the preview stuff like in the background, and it's dope.
The DFAM's amazing. So there's this company in the audio world, right? He's over there jamming. There's a company in the audio world that's kind of known for, I mean, 100%. They mimic other hardware. That's all.
Behringer?
Yeah. So Behringer has released their own versions of those.
So you buy it and it'll work for 6 months.
I mean, supposedly people are rack mounting these, and they're like, no, they sound slightly different, just because Moog pays for better shit, of course. But they are 100% knockoffs, and they're like less than $200.
Right.
And they have MIDI.
Their QC is awful.
Yeah. So they have MIDI,
right,
and it's cheaper.
But their QC is awful. Like, I'm just mean. Like, you can buy something from Behringer, and it could last 10 years.
Yeah.
But you could also buy something, and it lasts 10 seconds. Like, their
fair.
QC is bad.
That's totally,
and that's
fair.
why they're so cheap.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And these are Behringer's attempts at hardware synths, right?
Yep.
So it's going to be, and they're trying really hard to mimic Moog, which is great. If you're going to pick someone for hardware synths to mimic, those are the dudes to mimic. But they're 100% using cheaper shit all the way through those, right? Cheaper connectors, cheaper transistors, cheaper all of it. That's why it sounds different, which is fine. I'm not expecting Moog
System
level
55.
And I really only want the one that is mimicking the DFAM. Just because that sounds so cool. And there's not a way to do that in software synthesis. Like,
it's not the same.
Yeah.
So what is their version of the DFAM?
It is called, it's called the Behringer Edge.
Because it's so edgy. Analog semi-modular percussion synthesizer. The perfect companion to your Crave.
Which is a direct ripoff of the Mother.
Yeah.
32.
And
like, you can go watch hundreds of videos on YouTube of like hardware synth guys ripping them apart and then putting them next to each other and playing them next to each other and being like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it. It's Behringer, but these are so cheap and what it's doing is cool. I just want it. And then so there's those two that I want. But really that one. But I'll take the Crave as well. Because
you'll take it. Why not?
Yeah. And then Behringer as well created this thing called the TD3 MOBK, which is a Roland 303, but it's mimicking. So they have one that is just that. The TB3 is just a ripoff of the 303. Then they have the TB3MO, which is the modded out version, which adds another oscillator, and it's a bunch of stuff that people were doing to the original 303 already, hardware modding them. And then the BK is a completely separate one that they did that is matte black. And the 303 is one of the hardware, the software synths that I bought.
It's a good one.
And then the Roland has the the old rhythm composer, the TR-08. I don't know. I need another house with a broom just for all of my shit.
Yeah, and I keep after my last move, like moving all of this stuff twice. I'm like, do I I need to have like some real hard conversations with myself about like what do I just need to not have anymore?
Yeah.
That like is it just time? And I don't want to have those conversations with myself.
No. I'm just hoping that I die before I have to make this decision.
I will move several times like in my life, so it is inevitable that I will have more large moves, and like I'm gonna have to start having some tough conversations with myself.
Yeah.
Like
I keep looking at stuff that was like hobbies that never panned out. Hyperfixations that never panned out. And I'm just like, whoa.
Is he? Oh,
someone's here.
There's a car that drives by that backfires.
Oh. Well.
And
I would bark too.
Yeah. Every time it does, she has to bark at it.
Of course.
And I don't think it was that. I think it was just a semi going down. Like we live next to a tremendously busy street. Yeah. Like we get semis going up and down it all the time. One of my last Pastor Recoil's Parish episodes that I recorded, like I seriously had to say the same line like 10 times because every single time I started, a big truck is like upshifting to go down the hill.
Right.
Because we live on a mighty steep hill.
That just made me remember I was watching a video of a voice actor, and it was an outtake of them, and they had been working on something, and whatever they had screwed up was really, really funny, but they clapped really loud, like once really loud, right when they realized they fucked up, and the people in the comments were like, what was that? Like it to them it looked like a Twitch.
Yeah, so you know what you did.
Yeah. And they were like, no, I was marking the sound as soon as I knew I fuck up. I mark the sound so that I can find it later. And I was like, yeah.
Yep, that's one of the ways to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting seeing someone, like, it did look like a natural reaction though. Like the moment that they realized they had screwed up, they're like, oh god, there was.
I actually do a long pause, like because I just track the waveform, and like if I see an unnaturally long, and that like usually it's like I'll stop, take a sip of water, so that there is a long enough pause that like I can, when I'm scrolling through, I'm like, oh, there's a big pause there, I screwed up.
Yeah. I saw something else, some other way that someone on TikTok was marking theirs in a different way, and I was like, oh, that's unique, and I can't remember what it was.
Of course, I also like, because I have a script, I also mark the script where I
Mm.
screwed up, so I know like if there's a spot that's a different color in the script.
Have you seen the? Oh my god, it makes me sick. Have you seen the AI editing?
Oh no.
So the new version of
Oh
Adobe's
no.
video editing software, you can edit the video. It generates a track that is a transcript of the video, right?
Okay.
And you can edit the text, and it will edit the video
Oh.
to match the text.
Oh, that's creepy. I don't like that. That's so bad.
It's weird, but
But
holy
like,
hell, that's helpful.
it's helpful, but at the same time, do you understand how terrifying that is?
No, I do. Like we're at that place where, like, we as a culture need to start having some conversations about our tech.
Mm-hmm.
We are building
Because that's
demons.
yeah. Because like like you'll not be able to trust anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean we're already
Like,
there.
well, yeah, but like
The tech exists to trick us. Like we're already there. You can't trust anything. You can't
right,
trust this interaction. I might not actually be here right now.
right, you might just be an AI.
Like you got to admit, there's not a whole lot going on up here anyway. There's not a whole lot of data to train that model on.
I'm like I think about how easy people fall for like just a picture from the
People
wrong war, right?
People still fall for the Nigerian prince scam.
Right. I actually did hear a thing that like the reason why those have so many grammatical errors is because they're weeding out the folk that would pay close enough attention.
Hmm,
So like
that's
if you're
fair.
not gonna be like bothered by those grammatical errors, you're more likely to fall for the scam.
Interesting. Oh, that's terrifying.
I mean it's clever.
It
Like
is. God,
it's also why Reaper's emails got caught in my spam folder for the longest time.
he hadn't trained you yet.
Yep.
He hadn't gotten you dumb enough yet to
Next thing I know, I'll get a Reaper's a Nigerian prince or Canadian prince.
he's a Canadian. Canadian nights, like Canadian days. Oh my god. I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
So, oh, yeah. Reaper. Oh, he did decide. He picked one. What did he pick?
Oh, increlution.
What the hell is that?
Also, did you think about what you did?
Yeah. What did you do?
And did you think about it?
Tell us all about it. What did you do and why? Why did you do it? How did it make you feel? Next, what did he say? What words did you speak? That's what I want to know. Now, tell me now. All of it now. Tell me yes. Sorry. Oh, this is that weird game. Man, y'all are broken.
I think like Reaper said something about it, and I put it on my wish list because it sounded like it's almost the right price point to be like $5 interesting. Like I meant to play the demo, and then I just didn't. I don't play a lot of games lately, like
Yeah. I don't
because I'm just kind of like. And like, well, and like now, if I get a new game, like, what am I gonna do? My parents get in town for the holidays, like this
That's true.
weekend. I'm not gonna play it for a week.
That's fair.
Um, and then it's like Christmas time, and so, and then school.
Yeah, your birthday
Gonna learn.
sucks, dude. Fuck,
What a weird
man.
time. My dad's is worse. Like,
I don't know.
his is in December.
Yep, my stepdad's is the day after Christmas.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
My
Like
my
and
my dad's is 2 days before.
and like my mom and my stepdad have birthdays like within a week of each other. And it's like Christmas is right there to like, it's just crazy how much junk happens within like a 3-week span in my life.
Yeah.
Second choice
like
was Battleground 3,
Battlegord 3.
Battletoads 5.
Actually, I'm sure
Baldur's
this is
Gate. The Baldies.
And see, that's one that's like, yeah, it's on my wish list, and yeah, everybody loves it. But I was just like, I had such a hard time getting into that studio's other games
I know.
that it makes me not want to buy it because I'm like, I don't want to spend all this money, and no, I'm not like knowing that I have not enjoyed other things from this studio.
Yeah.
And it seems like the game is so in depth that it's going to feel too much like reality, where like my choices matter and like I have to make decisions, and like I don't want that in my games anymore. Like,
come on, man. Why not?
I want to be handheld and just experience a story.
I mean, that's fair. There is something to be said for the non-open worlds stuff. Like I love open world. I love open worlds that open themselves correctly.
Right.
Right. That they have a story, and by the end of the story, you look back and you're like, "Oh crap! Look at all this other stuff I can do."
I don't like the ones that are like, "Okay, we're dropping you in the universe now.
Yeah.
Here's the whole thing."
You're standing next to a dude with a question mark over his head. What do you do?
Yep.
Tell me, Zork, what do you do?
Do you remember the text-based Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy game?
No. I don't.
It is epically punishing.
I can imagine.
Like, the Babelfish puzzle is a nightmare.
God. That sounds horrifying.
It's like you have to put a satchel in front of a hole and put like envelopes in the satchel. Like and it's all British. So like when I was playing it as a kid, none of the words made sense.
Right. You're like, what's a bin? I don't understand.
Like, I had to pick up a buffered analgesic, and I'm like, what the heck is a buffered analgesic?
Right. Well, son, that's for your constitution. What? Right. For my what? What is my constitution? Point to it on my body. I don't know what that is. Show it to me on a map.
Yeah.
Please.
And I'm like, you couldn't have just called it a Tylenol.
Right. My buffered. Hand me a buffered temperament, please.
Oh man. Like, yeah, it was very confusing as a child.
Well, now I don't know what to get you for your birthday.
Just get me your love and affection.
I mean, you've had that, though.
That's all I really need.
I could send you a Reaper.
It's just have them
Ship
show up
you a
at my
Reaper?
front door.
Surprise!
Ship them in the UPS.
Yes.
Or maybe FedEx them for his own good. UPS might be a little slow.
FedEx will never make it there.
No,
Are you still at war with FedEx?
no, apparently the vendetta against FedEx was only in Utah. So it was with Utah FedEx in particular.
Oh, I didn't know that there were different tribes of the FedEx. All he needs is air holes.
Oh.
I will make sure to put some air holes in you before I send you.
Holy in there.
It's awfully holy in here.
Oh.
I mean,
so like I've noticed that what I want in a video game is like I want to enjoy the story without having to be without having to like fight to get the story. Like I don't want to feel like I'm part of the world. I just want to like enjoy the story like one would enjoy a movie, but more interactive.
yeah. Yeah. You know what we need? Oh. I might be summoning beasts.
Uh-oh.
The words are about to come out of my mouth, and I might summon a beast.
It's good. You're going to regret it.
We need another Max Payne. Like, we need a
Ooh.
Max Payne reboot. Let's go back and redo
Now
the original Max Payne with modern tech. Oh my
that
god.
would be interesting.
And have you seen some of the Unreal the Unreal 5 stuff?
Yeah, it's dope.
Like, there's video out there that you can't tell it's a video game. It looks like you're just walking through a field. And they're like, no, this is all video game. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's
Like, give me that with Max Payne, please. With the
that'd be
slow-mo
cool.
shit. With the bullet time. That would be
Slow-mo stuff
amazing.
was so much fun.
It was so
Like
good.
that, and that first game, it was such a fun story too.
Yes.
Like,
yes, go back to
just
that
like
story.
his drug-fueled fever dream. Like,
No, not with the Wahlberg. We're not talking about
not. I
Demon
mean,
Max Payne. What was that? I don't know what that was.
yeah, like that first game was good. The second one, I mean, the third one was fun because he was just such a grumpy old
Yeah, I
man.
know. It was just shooting with this bald old man.
Yeah,
It
just
was great.
like he's like, I just don't want to be here.
And he was making like it was. I think the reason Max Payne 3 was enjoyable is because we needed something out of that universe, and they knew that they couldn't just make the original game again.
Yeah, like
And
it
they're
had
like-
to be grumpy Max Payne.
Yeah, they're like, no, if we've got great tech, we need to have a really shitty Max Payne.
Yeah. Well, and because that was like part of the thing of the first game was constipated face. Like just
Even in cut scenes.
oh yeah, the cutscenes he was worse. Like
That was fantastic.
yeah, so seeing him all old and still like constipated in attitude just made it perfect.
It was really. I need to play 3 again.
Yeah,
You think it holds
have
up?
Not. I'm sure it doesn't.
I
I'm
would
sure
have
it
to-
holds up terribly.
That's sad. I will actually have to buy that again if I want to play it, because that was the last game I bought a physical copy of.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I have
have-
it sitting on my shelf, but I don't have any way to put it in my computer.
I have all 3 of them. How do you not have them?
I don't think I do. Maybe I got them at some point. Mm.
'Cause
Man, that song was loud. Let's see.
you good there?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't own any of the Max Paynes on Steam.
Oh.
That's fantastic. You have games on floppy disk? I have some somewhere. I don't know where though. Max Payne 3. Man, putting my birthday in on the Max Payne page
Oh,
feels
yeah.
really weird.
When did that come? 2012 is the last I played it. Okay, so it came out in 2012.
Yeah. That actually looks pretty good for a game from 2012.
Oh yeah, he was in Sao Paulo. That's right. I forgot it was all because we played like multiplayer of that.
Oh yeah, we did. Holy crap. I wonder if that's a thing still.
Oh, probably not.
Wow, for $54.96 you can get the entire Max Payne collection.
Yikes! They want that much for it still?
Yeah, Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. Max Payne 3.
Freaking Mona.
One of my favorite things that I own to this day, though, is the t-shirt that I got for pre-ordering Max Payne 3.
Nice.
It's the dumbest shirt, but I love it. Just
Oh, those
bury me.
graphics. Those graphics
Right?
are rough. Like looking at the graphics for the first Max Payne.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and it looked so good. That's the thing. It looked so good when it first came out.
We were blown away. I
Like-
love that game so much.
Dude, I played it so much. And the fact that you could like look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. There were no shadows on anything, but you could see yourself in the mirror, damn.
Yeah. Man,
crazy.
those were the days when just like it was just that it's those incremental like growth moments. Like
It's so weird.
remember Red Faction? Where like it had the destructible environment and it was like, I could destroy a building and it actually destroys.
It's insane.
And now I don't even think you can get the originals for that anymore. There might be one that's in like rights. Wait, can you?
Man, Max Payne 2 looks rough too.
I can get the Red Faction Complete. Well, here you go. Get the Red Faction Complete Collection for $5.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, just I can because I already own 2 of them. But like, yeah, Red Faction and Red Faction 2 are absolutely on there. That's crazy. That might be something to get for later because it's $5.
Wow, those graphics are
So rough.
wow, buddy. Oh, you've got 12 polygons on your screen. Your video card is going to overheat.
Man, some of these are fun.
Do you remember that when video cards used to have polygon counts?
Yeah.
And then someone discovered that you could only render the stuff that was on the screen, and it like tripled everybody's frame rate overnight.
Yeah, because all of a sudden they were like, oh, wait, we can just not render the stuff that you're not looking at?
Crazy.
That's smart. I still remember I bought Morrowind back in the day, and my computer it was the first time I had to actually buy a graphics card.
Wow.
Because like you didn't they didn't work anymore. Like and that dropped when? Like that was
Yeah, I remember
2002, yeah.
What
Like
was
everything else would just run on the computer.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I had a game like that too, but I can't remember what it was.
Because it was there's something, because Morrowind was one that like also looked amazing when it came out in more than 20 years. Morrowind can drink. Like,
Morrowind can drink. Oh yeah, the Disney games are all pretty rough there, buddy.
the hand-drawn side scrollers still look pretty good. Like the ones for the old, like the one, because they're like the Aladdin for Sega and like those games, because they have that hand-drawn art style. Like
I was thinking about like those old, God, like Ratchet and Clank,
dude, like
Mario and stuff.
I did a playthrough of the original 2 Prince of Persias not too long ago. That they're still smooth because it's all rotoscope.
Right. Yeah. I kind of want to buy a old tube TV, like a little one.
Oh yeah.
And get like one of those emulator things to actually play that on a tube TV instead of a monitor.
I wonder if DOSBox can do that. Yeah, DOSBox emulate CGA monitor. If machine equals CGA doc, okay. So DOSBox does kind of do the CGA composite mode. So that's good to know. So a bunch of the old Sierra adventure games, and really a lot of Sierra games, for reasons that don't make a whole lot of sense, they wrote a lot of the music on MT32s.
Interesting.
So ScumVM, if you have access to an MT32 or the ROMs that belongs to an MT32, ScumVM can emulate it.
Oh wow.
And it makes them sound so good.
It's so much better.
And it's like no one would have had like an MT32 lying around at their house, but that's how they did all the music.
Wow.
Like,
dude, you have. Holy fuck.
are you looking at my library? Don't look at my library. It's depressing.
Dude, the hours that you have in X-Plane 11, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
I don't want to know what. Well,
Bro.
so okay,
Bro.
but okay. To make it better,
Bro.
a lot of those hours
I don't know.
are up in the air,
Uh-huh.
and I'm doing other stuff.
Okay. Does that make it better?
I mean, I don't know. It's a flight simulator. Like, what is it?
You have. Oh my god.
I'm trying to. Where do I find
Between
my,
that and Football Manager, like, you have game time that can go to a bar with you.
So Mrs. Pastor has joked that like you could, if you look at my Football Manager times, you can tell when I was dating somebody and when I wasn't.
Oh my god, it's true. Oh, that's funny. Wow.
I'm impressed that Dragon Age Origins is still up there.
Yeah, I'm impressed you have that much time in Grim Dawn.
It's actually surprisingly fun. They're coming out with a new
Wow.
expansion sometime next year.
That's a lot of time in Alamar.
Oh yeah, MLM Ding Dong.
Yeah. How much time do I have in that game?
You probably also have quite a bit of time in that game.
You think? I don't know if I have that much time in that game. How do I tell?
How do I have a 125 hours in Mass Effect Legendary when I swear I've only played that through once? I'm actually really excited for the next Grim Dawn expansion. They're adding a like shapeshifty class that seems really fun.
I don't own Kingdoms of Alamor on here.
Amalama Ding a Dong.
That's sad.
And looking through it's always a trip to look at the like
Spell Force.
played. Yeah, those are weird games, but they're weirdly fun.
Are these like dating sims? Should I not be clicking around in here?
No, the Spellforce is it's a like RTS RPG hybrid.
Interesting.
That does neither well.
But well enough for you to spend hours on. More time than Skyrim.
It's actually a surprisingly good story.
You've spent more time in Spellforce than Skyrim.
Well, Spellforce 3 is kind of 3 games. So like that's
Are you justifying it by saying
yes, kind of yeah.
Okay.
What else is on here?
You justified it by saying no. I've played more Spellforce games.
Right. Fair enough.
Can't wait for Starfield content update. Not for more quests, but for more furniture and building stuff. Yeah. They actually have I'm enjoying the hell out of that game.
V Rising's actually doing a lot higher on my list than I thought it would be.
Is it?
It's at 114 for me.
There's a lot of BattleTech.
Oh yeah, I played a lot of that.
Oh, mine's at. Oh, that's weird. 114 point what?
114.3.
Oh my god! Oh wait, I'm
looking
at your list. Hold on.
Oh man. Okay.
I was like, whoa, that's crazy. What are the
chances? It would be if...
Jesus Christ. Hold on.
Oh, Portal 2. We could always maybe in 2 weeks we could do a multiplayer run through a Portal 2.
Oh, we could.
It's always a fun time killer.
Dude, every time I look on any computer, because I have Steam on my laptop that I take to work, Reaper is always in Cookie Clicker.
Yeah, he is.
And
wait, how many hours?
3,000.
Holy crap, dude. I thought my almost 1,600 hours in X-Plane 11 was bad. 3.5 hours in Cookie Clicker.
But it's like sitting there running all day while he's at work.
Oh, dude.
So that's not really fair, right? Because he's not playing it that entire time. Are you? You're not playing it that entire time.
I mean, it depends on how good his work is.
If you're home, it's on, but you're not like actively playing it. And literally playing it is clicking. So it's not like
here's a new thing that I didn't know. I have 11 perfect games.
perfect game. Where is that at?
So if you go to your
My games.
games, and then across the top there's like recently played all games and then perfect games.
Oh,
So it's all the ones that
Oh,
you have
wow.
all the achievements for.
I only have one. That's crazy.
So I have Starlight Astronaut Rescue, which was a free like space game from NASA.
Oh, that's cool.
The Shiva, which is a role-playing game where you play a rabbi.
Oh,
One of the achievements is to only ever ask questions and never actually like give a straight answer.
God. That's hilarious.
I have all the achievements for Full Throttle Remastered, which talk about a well done remaster. Like they did a good job with the Full Throttle Remaster. That was a
Nice.
great game.
I'm at a point of the game. It's more efficient to not click, and it just runs in the background with me occasionally buying buildings when I have enough money. Interesting. That's cool.
So I've got let's see. Memoria, which is a adventure game, Broken Sword 5 adventure game, Bridge Constructor Medieval, which is a game that
Nice.
I forgot I had. Apparently I got all of the achievements in 12 hours.
Yeah, what is out of all of your times played on what is the lowest?
On the perfect game ones?
Yeah.
So Starlight Astronaut Rescue was 17 minutes.
Oh wow. That's fast. Is it one achievement?
Yeah, it's one achievement.
Okay.
The Shiva is 115. Can I sort by playtime? Actually, no, yeah, I can actually. Cool. So the Shiva is 115 minutes. Full Throttle Remastered was 2.2 hours. Memoria was 10.9. Broken Sword 5, 11.2. Bridge Constructor 11.9.
Are they all like 10 achievements or something?
Memoria had 31.
Oh.
But I feel like I don't know actually. That's weird. Let's see. Human Resource Machine has 16 achievements. Particle Fleet Homeworld Remastered had 34.
The only one that I have 100% in is Scorn.
Scorn?
Yeah.
What is Scorn?
Is
that a dating sim?
No. It's this game that was all based on artwork around in the style of H.R. Giger. And it was like based around the world that he created in his art.
Okay.
The entire game took 6 hours. Like it's a tiny little game, but it was really cool.
There's a game that I've got. What's it called? Torment? No, Tormentum. Tormentum Dark Sorrow that has that same kind of like Geiger-esque art style.
Mm.
And I bought it because of the art style. It's not a very good game.
Oh. I would actually say I would give thumbs up to Scorn. Those guys did a really good job.
I will put it on my wish list for when it goes on sale for $5.
If you want to spend 6.5 hours or so in the world of H.R. Giger's brain, that is the way to do it.
Sounds like something I'd need to like watch a Disney movie afterwards.
Yeah, I will say I didn't do it in one sitting. I don't think that would be healthy.
There's guy that does video game reviews, Yahtzee. He made like a sort of horror game that like gets in your brain in weird ways.
Oh, interesting.
It's actually like technically
shit.
it's 4 games, but
how much time did you have in V Rising?
V Rising was 114.3.
Huh. At 99.4.
Oh, I did a lot of like popping in and then like I'd pop in for
Yeah.
a couple minutes, send our servants out, and then pop back out.
It seemed like every time I got on, everything had been done. Like it was like the house was
Oh,
always
yeah.
clean. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
'Cause apparently I'm better at cleaning my online house than my real house.
You know what? Get the dopamine where you get it, man. Nobody's mad about that.
Well, Mrs. Pastor sometimes is.
Probably. But that's not my problem.
No, that is not your problem. And I did see like some stuff for the like what they're planning for like 1.0 of V Rising. It seems interesting. So I'm excited to come back to that
Yeah.
when it's like fully released and
Yeah.
start over.
Yeah. It'll be cool to experience like now that we know what we're doing.
Right. And especially going into it for fun again.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
maybe not like OP ourselves to where it was at the end, but like
that was a bit
definitely
much.
OP ourselves a bit.
And see if like by the time it gets to 1.0, maybe they will have tweaked that enough that you won't have to do that.
Maybe. It was sure nice to like actually feel. That's a thing that I've noticed in games that they don't do as much. Like you never feel like you're actually getting stronger.
Yeah. It seems like I've noticed that with that is really odd that you say that. Playing Starfield, the quests they level with you kind of like
Yeah.
you level in a way that like the world it doesn't affect you, right? Like being level 100 doesn't affect you, and it's weird.
There was going from like one Fallout to another Fallout did that where like there was one Fallout game that like it leveled with you and everyone was like you just never feel like you're getting stronger. But then I still remember and again, it was whichever one they did this in, like you're going along, you're starting to think you're getting the hang of the game, and then a death claw comes in and like smashes your face in. And I'm like, and it's like those moments are good.
Yeah. No,
Because then it's like,
exactly what you're talking about.
But then like as you play the game and as you get better stuff, it's like, oh,
yeah,
I can take out a death claw.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was the whole. I think that was the experience, right? They wanted you to get your ass handed to you by this gigantic thing that you had no reason to be around.
Yep. And it's just like a quest. It's like just a random quest that shows up and it like takes you directly past where the death claws are. And you're just like, oh, a death claw. Oh.
Yeah. It's fantastic. And then it did so well, they just kept doing it because they did that again in 4.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that was 2 or
well, there was another one.
3.
Whichever one was set, I think the one where there were way too many factions and the one just kept like asking you to do stuff and it was super annoying.
That's 4.
Is that 4? Because 4 you fight a death claw really early, but they like give you too much gear, so it's not a fight.
They hand you that armor and the minigun.
Yeah, and it's like oh,
dope. And then as soon as the fight's over, you realize like, oh, I have no fucking bullets left.
Yeah, I have no bullets left, and my power armor is all busted.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, well that was cool for a minute.
And it's like, yeah, like I guess that's a good mechanic, but then you don't actually get the satisfaction of beating the death claw because it's like, oh,
yeah, that's fair.
I think, Dragon Age 2, the tutorial level, when you're like super OP, and you're doing a fight, and then you have to go back and like do the fight again at like level 0 with no like. They did that part really well.
Yeah. There was
like Dragon Age 2, having played it again not too long ago. I played through all of them. 2 is a better game than it got credit for.
Yeah.
Like it was, we even made fun of it for the level recycling, and yeah, that part's annoying, but like
it was pretty bad.
it is a better game than
I remember enjoying the story a lot. I hated
Yeah.
the map, and I thought it was weird. I thought the choice to keep it like, because that's the one that's like the entire thing's in one city.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, that seems like a really weird choice to
And
me.
it could have worked if they had handcrafted the dungeons. Like if you
Yeah,
weren't just going back to the same dungeon with walls up.
yeah, so
Um,
bad.
it could have been a lot better because like it had that like, oh, I'm going back to Kirkwall, like I'm doing my thing, but then I'm going to this cool dungeon.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
It didn't have the cool
No,
dungeons.
it did the first time, and you're like, dope,
Well,
this
yeah, oh
game's
yeah.
awesome. And then the second one comes, and you're like,
It's like, oh, I know this. Wait, why is there a wall here?
you're like, wait a minute,
Why
am I in
is
the same
there's
place? I'm confused.
this I was here before.
Oh, it's one of
Oh,
those.
I've been in this cave. Oh, I've been in
Sons of bitches.
oh, and it's a different generic thing I'm fighting. Oh,
Oh,
it's
yay.
the angry mages, not the angry
What?
warriors.
I was just playing something that did that, where you ended up going into the same cave kind of thing. Oh, it was the Harry Potter game.
Oh, okay.
They had a whole bunch of caves that you had to get into and do these little like questy things, and it was just like the same cave system over and over
Yeah.
and over again. It's like, ugh. Oh, look, Reaver's playing Cookie Clicker.
Oh yeah. I've been playing Pillars of Eternity again, which because it scratches that like RPG itch,
Mm.
but it has a like a linear enough story with enough branches that it feels good.
Right.
Like it's
Yeah.
a very linear story and it ends no matter what happens, it ends at the same place, but it gives you a lot of options to get there.
Interesting.
Like there's one quest I just did where it's like there are these two feuding families and you can either side with one or the other, or like if you have the right skills and have stolen the right things, then you can convince them to make peace, and like it ends up being a more beneficial relationship for everyone, and you kind of get both quest rewards that way.
Interesting.
But it takes some work to get there.
Yeah.
And then like you can it kind of you can tell that like it was a hair too late because it was really riding that like piratey vibe, and everyone was kind of over pirates when it came out, so it didn't sell very well.
Oh, gotcha. Did I see you recently playing Pillars of Eternity 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the one.
You need to do me a favor. You need to, one of your companion relationships,
Okay.
you need to maximize the negative relationship.
Why do you need me to do that?
Because that is the last achievement that you need to 100%
Wait, is
that game.
Is it seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, well, hold up. I might be able to do that right now.
I just saw that and was like, there's no, oh, it has to be something dumb that could.
No, I think there's a way to do it super easy. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, I might be able to do that right now, actually. Do, 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 do.
I wonder if I'll see it go up, or will I have to reload the page?
Oh, maybe.
How reactive is this app that I'm in?
All right.
Did they think about that? Probably not.
Okay, it's loading.
Or is their data reactive? Because that would be dope. No.
I think what I need to do.
Because it would have to ping back every second or something. Because it's not going to push out to all of your friends. That would be dumb. Yeah, this isn't going to update. Sorry. I was figuring out the infrastructure of the web app.
Yeah. And I'm actually I need to look up
how to piss your friends off.
I want to make sure I do it like the quickest possible way. And there should be a way to do it super quick. Okay, not there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, there is a way to do it super quick. I just have to basically. I need to have a point in intimidate. So, actually, do I have a save game from then? I do not have a hard save from then. I don't think. No, because that would be too convenient if I had a hard save.
Of course it was.
Oh wait, that one might work. That one might work. Okay. I got to remember like how much of this I have to, because I have to get like to a certain point, and then I can absolutely infuriate the dude. um, this is gonna be kind of fun.
I like it.
Okay. Let's see. So I need to. Do I have to search for members of my group, or can I just actually just run off screen? Because that would be convenient if I could just run off the screen and not look for members of my crew. Or is it going to make me? Oh, I think I can. Okay. Perfect. I should be able to tick him off.
But you have to take them off like all the way.
Yeah, I gotta tick him off all the way. Okay, I need to
Ticked off
find
all the way.
There's some pilgrims. I have to threaten some pilgrims.
I noticed the other day, I've worn headphones for so long in my life, I have a dip in my skull right there.
Oh. I do not.
Like I have a little, like I've always had one divot back there, but now I have another one.
Okay, so I need to threaten some pilgrims. Pilgrims have been threatened.
Oh, we know you've done that before.
And then I need to tell them it's not enough and attack them.
Have mercy.
Oh yeah. Then I need to actually murder them. Hold on. Apparently it's not good enough to like attack them. I have to like attack them. Okay, so they're dead.
Oh, you are a pillar of the community on Steam.
On what now?
On Steam. That's one of your badges.
Okay, he's bothered. I'm not interested in his problems. Then I have to go and brutally murder some animals. Because this guy likes animals. Okay. There we go. Go to the woods. Select the option to call out.
I just see this post on there's a comment on my Steam profile from saying July 6th, 2011.
Okay.
You need to catch up to Pastor. He has 220 plus games via Steam and you only have 28. And you have like 1,300 or something now?
Okay, so I mean you no harm. And now I need to brutally kill some boars.
Man.
Because this guy likes animals. Oh wait, crap. I did it wrong. It's a good thing there's an autosave. I need to intimidate him and specifically say, if you don't get out of my way, I'm going to make you watch while I kill your pigs.
That's horrifying.
There it is.
Oh. Let me go see. Oh crap! I need to find you again.
Okay, so it should have. It just told me I got the achievement.
Oh, 55 of 55. Nice.
All right, so now I have another perfect game.
Look at us. Live on the air, making the world a better place.
Yeah, I'm missing a lot of achievements for the other one. And they're mostly stupid ones. There's a lot of stupid ones I'm missing, but... Oh. All right, he's now he's questioning me.
Nope.
Oh, he's like extra mad. Oh, he's... I just called him a coward for staying. And then he spat at me.
Oh?
All right. Yeah, so he is super mad at me. Because I was mean to animals and I threatened pilgrims.
That's that's
right.
fair.
So yeah, he they got the achievement. That's good.
Nice.
That's And now I have another perfect game.
Sweet. I think I'm done. I think we're done.
Let's call it a night.
I think Reaper's done.
There is doneness that is happening here.
Let's see. Next. Here, let me do this real quick. Hold on 1 second. There we
go. Where are you typing words at?
My brain is so tired.
Yeah, we had a long day.
Hold on. I need one thing. I think that's correct.
I have questions?
Nah.
I don't need questions?
There we go.
Can I have...
Nope.
Oh, what's this? Oh.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Poopy face McGee. Poopy face McGee. Come on, Alice. Best wishes. The other poopy face.
See? And this is one of those games that you don't even have to play right now.
That's
because it's one of those ones that you can put 150 hours in over the next 10 years. It'll be fine.
And it'd probably be good for it to sit for a minute so it can get like some patches and stuff.
Probably a couple. I haven't actually had, I tend to have good luck with them for some reason.
Yeah. All right.
There you go. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Now you can go fly around in space too.
Now I will go fly around in space too.
And I think I'm going to go try and build a spaceship.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell that to download all 116 gigabytes of it.
Yes. That's what I really wanted to do, is just take up more hard drive space on your computer.
Yikesers.
That's been this whole time. It's just been trying to fill up hard drive space on your computer.
That's been for all the time we've known each other.
Yes.
It's all it's about.
I've secretly been working for big hard drive.
All right. Well,
all right.
I guess since you're working for big hard drive, I'm going to turn off my computer and let it just soak in the baskness of being a full hard. Oh, and there goes my internet because I'm downloading something.
Happy early Native American Heritage Day.
Yes.
We-
Happy White Supremacy Day the day before.
Happy
Yes.
Syphilis Day. Isn't that what he? Anyway.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so we won't be here. I'll
No,
be here
but
the
we'll
next
be here
week.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep. We should be here in 2 weeks. Yeah. Let's plan on doing a Portal 2 fly through.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
That'd be fun.
We actually have a map that I made at some point that we played live.
Oh
that I just
gosh,
found in the workshop still.
I forgot we did that.
We could do that. See how that shakes out.
Huh. I'm sure that I remember it because there was like something that you had to carry with you the entire level,
Oh yeah, maybe.
and I didn't. And I was so mad when I got to the end. I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
That sounds like something I would do.
So mad.
Yeah, maybe we'll
All
try
right,
that.
well, until 2 weeks. May may your bread ever be buttered with good butter.
And may your toast ever be slightly darker than you want it to be.
Oh, dude, that's rude.
Because we always want it to be a little less than it really should be.
I mean, that's true. Maybe
See?
it's not so rude.
I'm trying to make the world a better place, Pastor. Why are you fighting?
May your pizza be just the right amount of greasy.
Okay. May your shoelaces pop at just the right spot.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna pop, but they can either pop in a good spot or in a really shitty spot.
Yeah,
It's always better to get them in a good spot. We're shooting for the
It
good
is.
spot.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like that's good energy.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
May your fountain soda drinks always be the right mix.
With the
Sometimes
extra syrup in there.
Yeah, if they're not quite right, they're not great. But if they're just right,
You know, that's the McDonald's thing. Supposedly McDonald's is the only one that is allowed to, like, they crank up the Coke or what? I think it's Coke. They have a higher syrup to whatever ratio, and they're the only ones
like
who are allowed to
McDonald's
do
sodas actually do taste
it. Yeah,
like,
have more stuff in them.
interesting.
I think it's McDonald's. It's somewhere.
It's probably McDonald's. They're the only ones that would have like the pull to be able to do that with.
Sounds like something they would do.
I mean, I could see like Pepsi doing that with like Taco Bell and KFC because they own them, but yeah.
All right. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Happy Turkey Day.
Thank you for the Starfield that's gonna download for the next 50 bazillion years.
Yes. Enjoy the download.
Roundabout.
Night Reaper. We love you.
Right, Reaper. I love you a very, very little bit. Like
Just
like
you know,
like a tiny squished heart.
squished,
Like
tiny
that.
heart.
Squished tiny.
It's like when you do that. It's a tiny.
Yeah, that's
it's a
there we go.
tiny
Yeah.
It's the
That's how much
tiniest.
I love you that much.
That much right there. So tiny. All right. Where's my button? What am I doing?
For anybody who's been listening to this, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Anybody who watches this later.
Welcome
why?
to the end of
Why?
everything.
Why? Actually, you know what? If you are still watching this,
Oh yeah.
go to the Discord and just tell us why. Why do you put up with this?
Comment down below this video, say blueberry cheesecake, and then just explain how you made it this far. And why what are you doing with your life?
How you could like no one is in the live stream except Reaper, and he's playing Cookie Clicker or whatever.
He's playing 2 different games right now. We're so boring. He has to play 2
and he
games.
has to play 2 different games
to make
and,
up
and
for
you're
it.
watching this on demand afterwards. I hope you're at least watching it on like 2 times speed.
Yeah. God, please. Okay. Well, we should stop then so we can make it end for them. Now I want to keep going. Damn it.
Just to see like what, because this is Like, how long could we draw this out? Could we just like just keep your computer on for the next like 12 hours?
Yeah, I mean,
And
I could just
have
go
the
make
screen
dinner.
going? Just have it be like
I could.
we're on a break
I
for
can
12
zoom
hours.
in on Nubs, and she could just chill while I go eat. I think Johnny would be really, really, really bad. All right. Yes, I'm hitting the button. I'm gonna skip the pretty button and go straight to the I'm gonna. I forgot there was a. Oh hey, are you sure you want to do this?
So you may as well just go to the button. And